Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Lineup for Braves Country by DM Magee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby. Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews. 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred. McGriff dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavine. Southpaw winds and kicks. Changing speeds east and west. A gem in Game 6. H is for Harry and his brother George Wright. The father of baseball, Boston pennants in flight. I is for inning, ending double play. Riley to Ozzie to Olsen all day. J is for Jones. Andrew let her fly. And his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts. A plenty from Strider. The quads in the stash, getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez. Javi to B-Mac. Travis and Smurf, we've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog. He won 355. Could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Necro. He got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis. Old Nixon could fly. The catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P's still for Peterson. We were all rockin' pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking. The top pitchers lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy. The big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler. Matzik and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren. Skip Carey 2. Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren. Spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni. Yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby, and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young, the game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for Zip Boom Bam, Rama-Lama Ding Dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to eyeglasses and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all when you just A to Z. Think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35, the great 44, or 755, and old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying. It felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee to Atlanta's TBS, a family, a tradition, Braves Country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by DM Magee, 2024.
You're in Braves country.
Good evening, Braves country. Hope y'all are having a great, Thursday now that we are in on July 25th, 2024, as we're getting set for a 4-game series, pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves against the New York Metropolitans. And it's a big 4-game series. Putting the lineup on the screen there real quick for y'all to take a glance at. And then I'll slide this down for a second. It is Chris Sale Day. Going to be against Luis Severino, which if you have not followed Severino, he is in a bit of a bounce back year. He had a couple of down years, some due to injury, some just, trying to get his, trying to get his groove back over there. But he has bounced back. He's got a pretty good year in New York, signed a 1-year deal with the Mets. And the Mets are taking advantage of it, getting themselves into the playoff picture. And there you have that. And I'm going to slide that back up to put the lineup back there where you can see it a lot better. and we will change the overall view so I can say hello to everybody, and away we go. Let me turn these lights off behind me. It usually gives you a better view. Good evening, Braves Country. Hope you all having a great night, as we got a lot to get into and a little time to do it. Austin Riley is back. You will notice that Austin Riley is back, so we're thankful to see him back in Braves Country. He's batting second tonight, so welcome him back. He has been out with paternity leave, so he, as far as I know, everything is good to go. We talked about the last broadcast that they welcome in their second son. I think it was Bo something. Was it Bo Williams Riley? I think was the name. I know it was Bo Riley. I can't remember what the middle name was. But anyways, we're getting set for that, and we are looking at this. Look, this is a big 4-game series. There's no two ways about it. When you look at this series and you look at the standings, I won't put them on the screen because you can only put so much stuff on a screen. But when you look at the standings and you understand that this series that we are about to begin, and so it's tonight, it's tomorrow night. Both of those are 7:10 first pitch, in case for some reason you haven't paid attention to that. And let's save that and get that a little more updated so you can see the whole 9 yards. Tonight and tomorrow night 7:10, and then Saturday it's a 4:10 first pitch, and then your traditional Sunday afternoon game. So we got 3 games in less than 72 hours. And you're going to see a team that is trying to get out of a funk with the Atlanta Braves. And we're running into a Mets team that has been red hot. They just swept the Yankees. They swept the season series against the Yankees, which is a much bigger deal to folks in New York than it is around the country. But nonetheless, the Yankees are the big boys on the block this year, having a much better year. And then all of a sudden they've played 4 games in a month span, 2 in Yankee Stadium, 2 in the Citi Field where we will be tonight. And the Mets have won every single one of them. I think they said that was the last time that they had swept the Yankees season series. I think they said since 2013. And if you remember, that was during a really good stretch for the Mets. The Mets went to the World Series in 2014 to face the Kansas City Royals. So they are riding cloud 9, and we're coming in stumbling. We're playing with our food. We are at the top of the leaderboard of the wild card, but we are now just a game and a half in front, and lo and behold, it's the New York Mets who sit right behind us. They're a game and a half out. So in theory, we could leave New York with the Mets being the top dog in the wild card, and nobody wants that. So this is a big series, and you're looking at this series. We're still keeping an eye on St. Louis and San Diego, who are in a tie for the 3rd spot. Arizona's a half game out of that. Pittsburgh's a game out of that, and Cincinnati's kind of hanging around. They're a game out, and I'm going to cut off it there because for Cincinnati or San Francisco or the Cubs to get into that talk, they're going to have to get really, really hot. So for all intents and purposes, it's 6 teams fighting for 3 spots, and they are separated by, 3.5 games. So it's starting to get a little tight, and the Braves are going to need to play a good series. You can't go out there and just kind of fiddle around. You got to go out there and put your best foot forward. You got the trade debt. Another reason why this is a huge 4-game series, 2 teams for all intents and purposes are looking to buy right now. And if one of these 2 teams were to just fall flat on their face, specifically the Mets, even if the Braves got swept in the series, that's a big if. Even if they got swept in the series, they'd still be right there at the wild card spot. So I don't think, but can you imagine if the Mets got swept at home on a 4-game series against the Braves and fell 3-4 games out of the wild card? Then you might see the Mets. They may not sell, but they may not buy. So it's a big series for both teams, no matter how you look at it. Tomorrow night, so tonight we've got Chris Sale versus Luis Severino. Tomorrow night, as of right now, it's Charlie Morton versus Kodai Senga, and this is his debut for the 2024 season. Excuse me. He has not pitched for the Mets. The Mets are at the beginning of the season. We're expecting to have him sometime in late May, early June. Here we are in July. What will be July 26th, almost August, and they're finally going to get Kodai Senga. Remember, he was good last year, so that's nothing to sneeze at there. As far as the rest of the series, on Saturday, you've got Schwellenbach. The Mets have not decided who's pitching in the Saturday contest. And then Sunday, as of right now, the Braves have Ronaldo Lopez versus David Peterson. And though Peterson has been pretty hittable his whole career, he's having a pretty good season this year. He's one of the reasons why the Mets are hanging around. He's 5-0 with a 3.14. So 3 of the 4 starters this weekend that we know of are pretty darn good. I don't know if it's going to be Christian Scott. I don't know where they go on Saturday, but I'm sure we'll find out. They're probably holding their cards till Friday night after the ball game, but won't get bogged down on that. And then remember, we will be in Milwaukee starting on Monday. That's an 8:10 first pitch for the two of the games there, Monday and Tuesday night. And don't forget, Tuesday night, we're going to come on the air about an hour and a half early. We're going to do at least an hour trade deadline reaction show coming on at 6:30 Eastern, because the deadline's at 6. Usually nothing comes all the way through the wires until around 6:20, 6:25. So once that dust settles, we're jumping on and we're going to be reacting. And I do think the Braves will make moves, but I'm not expecting them to be enormous moves, but it may be a lot of little moves. Regardless, we'll react to that. We'll react to the rest of the league on who they added, who they may have sold. And normally the Major League Baseball trading deadline is the best of all the deadlines, because normally every team tends to make at least one sizable trade at the deadline, something that they're trying to either add to one of their holds, or if they're out of it, they're just dumping water out of the boat and trying to save some money. So there we have that. I'm going to tell you right now, my pick to click tonight is Marcell Ozuna. And the reason why I'm going with Ozuna is because if you look at his numbers against Severino, he's got the best numbers in the line. He's 2 for 3 with the home run lifetime. But I'm going with the Braves to win this in a low-scoring affair. I've got it 4-2. I don't think the Braves are going to give up a ton of runs. They've got a well-rested bullpen, and they've got Chris Sale on the mound. All signs point to a low-scoring game. But at the same token, I don't think the Braves are going to score a ton of runs. Severino's been really good. The Mets bullpen's a little more tested this week, but they're still fairly fresh. And I just don't. I think basically the race to 4 or 5 runs probably wins this game. The over under in this game is 7.5. So the folks out in the desert aren't expecting a big high scoring game. And we all know how great Chris Sale has been, 13-3 with a 2.7 ERA. Well, Severino hasn't been too shabby himself. He's got a 3.58 ERA. So yeah, it's much north of what Sale is, but he's 7-3. He's got a 1.18 whip. I've said this a million times. If you've got your whip around 1.2 or lower, you are dealing. You're doing well. And he's not the strikeout pitcher that he was. He's got 88 strikeouts over 115 innings, but still pretty darn good. And he still has a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. The one thing that we can take advantage of when healthy, and this offensive lineup is far from healthy, is that he does give up the home run. He's given up 12 home runs in 115 innings. That's not an enormous number, but it's obviously much more than Sale's. Was he giving up 7 in 110? But Sale's been dominant. Sale right now, if the season ended today, would be your Cy Young winner in the National League. So I look, Sale's plenty rested now, right? Chris Sale is plenty rested now. He has not picked up a ball in about a week and a half. It's going on, 11 days? So he should be well rested. He should be ready to roll. And I do believe Sale is going to pitch well tonight, but the Mets offense has been hot. So he's going to have to tread lightly. And when the one thing that we do know about Sale is that he can sputter sometimes in the early innings. And if he's, if he sputters in the early innings, this Mets offense has really caught fire. I remember beginning of the season, Mets fans, Mets media, they were wanting to trade Francisco Lindor. And lo and behold, he's batting leadoff now with 21 home runs. You got Pete Alonso in the lineup with 20 home runs. JD Martinez is swinging the bat pretty well. You've got a good, solid offense on this Mets team that wasn't really clicking at the beginning of the year, but they are now. And that's what you got to look at. I'm a little surprised that DJ Stewart's in the lineup because he's a lefty who's never faced Sale. That's going to be a nightmare for him when he finally faces him. But I bet the Mets are hoping that he only has to face him like twice, and they want him in that lineup for the duration of the game. So they're putting him in the lineup, but they put him at the very, very bottom. I was just a little surprised that they didn't go with Harrison Bader, because he is a right-handed stick and he does play the outfield. But nonetheless, they've got their reasonings. Maybe they think Stewart's going to square one up on him. So, but looking at this lineup, the Mets lineup, we haven't said this much recently. The Mets lineup is a deeper lineup than the Braves right now. You look at Lindor, Iglesias is swinging a good bat for right now. He's typically not a great hitter, but hey, he's off to a good start. JD Martinez, Alonso, Vientos is holding his own. Jeff McNeil, he's not hitting great. He's hitting 228, but Jeff McNeil is 2 for 3 lifetime against Sale, so that's why he's in the lineup. And Tyrone Taylor tends to be a guy that you don't pay attention to, and all of a sudden he grooves one. So it's going to be hard sledding. You will notice Duvall is not in the lineup tonight. They've taken him out. They got Laureano in. They do have Rosario in, mainly because they're facing the righty and Severino. I do expect that at some point in the game, Duvall is going to come in and platoon for Rosario, get him out of there. You don't see Merrifield in there right now, so it'll be interesting to see what his availability is. Remember, he banged up his finger on Monday. He hoped to be in there sometime this week. And so we'll see and remember something too, Luke Williams has been added to the roster of the Braves roster. That came from, was it yesterday, the day before? And they have DFA'd Zach Short. I don't know if that had anything to do with that terrible throw. I kind of hated to see it. I thought that Zach Short actually played pretty overall throughout the year as a backup, just strictly as a backup. Zach Short hasn't been half bad. So I hated to see him go. I've never been impressed with anything Luke Williams has done. He doesn't give you professional at bats. Zach Short does. Zach Short normally is solid with the glove, and normally Zach Short, good base runner, and will get up there and fight. But it may have something to do with the fact that Luke Williams could play infield and outfield. They wanted more options for pinch running purposes. But your bench looks like this tonight. It's Duvall, Merrifield, question mark. I don't know if he's going to be, they may or may not put him in. If they do, I would think it would only be at second base. And because of the finger problem. And then Sean Murphy obviously is on the bench. Darno gets a start, and Luke Williams is on the very bottom. Daysbel Hernandez has been added to the bullpen, so that's the other minor move that we see. And other than that, it's status quo. We're going to step away, get you lineups, and this should be a hell of a series. Hope everyone's strapped in. Everybody's welcome. I see a Met fan. I see a Nats fan. We'll do wherever you're listening from. Shout out to us in the chat. We'll do roll call here in a bit when we start the game. But if you haven't caught us before, we always do roll call at the very beginning, saying hi to everybody in the chat. Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Let's get it.
Like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes, and the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ramalama ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-1 lead. She's gone, baby!
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America you get in a ballpark. And it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Breen. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to 1 strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we once
7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Citi Field in Queens, New York, where we're set to bring you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off and patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves, it's Jared Kelenic. Kid Kelenic has 11 home runs, 32 RBI, 6 stolen bases, batting .248. Batting second, playing third, Austin Riley. 13 home runs, 40 RBI, a .255 average. Batting third, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. 28 home runs, 80 RBI, a .306 average. Batting cleanup, playing first, Matt Olson. 13 home runs, 44 RBI, batting .223. Behind home plate and batting fifth, Travis d'Arnaud. 9 home runs, 32 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .258. Batting sixth and playing left, it's Eddie Rosario. 9 home runs, 31 RBI, 8 stolen bases, batting .184. Batting seventh and playing second, Nacho Alvarez. He's 1 for 9 on the season. Batting eighth and in right field, Ramon Laureano. 2 home runs, 8 RBI, 3 stolen bases, batting .182. Batting ninth and playing short, Orlando Arcia. The Magic Kingdom has 7 home runs, 26 RBI, batting .216 on the year. On the mound for your Atlanta Braves, the conductor, it's Chris Sale Day. He's 13-3 with a 2.70 ERA and a shiny 0.95 whip. 110 innings pitched, 140 strikeouts versus 81 hits allowed, 24 walks, and 7 home runs served. He'll be going head-to-head with Luis Severino. Severino, in a bounce-back year, is 7-3 with a 3.58 ERA. 1.18 whip, 115 2/3 innings pitched, 88 strikeouts versus 96 hits, 40 walks, and 12 home runs served. Backing up Luis in the bottom of the first inning and playing short, it's Francisco Lindor. 21 home runs, 60 RBI, 20 stolen bases, batting .259. Batting second, playing second, Iglesias. 3 home runs, 17 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .381. The designated hitter and batting third, JD Martinez. 2 home runs, 40 RBI, a .262 average. Batting cleanup, playing first, Pete Alonso. The Polar Bear has 20 home runs, 53 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .244. Vientos is at third and batting fifth. A .290 average, 35 RBI with 13 home runs. Jeff McNeil batting sixth and in left. 9 home runs, 5 stolen bases, 32 RBI, batting .228. Francisco Alvarez batting seventh and behind home plate. 4 home runs, 24 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .278. Tyrone Taylor's batting eighth and in center field. He has 6 home runs, a .233 average, 25 RBI, 6 stolen bases. And DJ Stewart batting ninth and in right, a .181 average, 5 home runs, 19 RBI, 1 stolen base. Career numbers against Chris Sale tonight. Lindor is 13-31 with a .419 average, a home run, and 6 RBI, 6 strikeouts. Iglesias is 11-33 lifetime with a .333 average. He has 1 home run. JD Martinez, 9-38 with 3 home runs, .237 average, 6 RBI. And Alonso is 0-3 with 2 strikeouts. Jeff McNeil, 2-3 with 1 RBI. Versus Severino, lifetime Kid Kelenic is 1-2 with a home run. Austin Riley, 1-5, 3 strikeouts. Marcell Ozuna, 2-3 with a home run and 3 RBI. Big Matt Olson is 2-7 with 4 strikeouts. Travis d'Arnaud is 1-3, and Eddie Rosario 3-11 with a home run. Laureano is also 1-3, and Orlando Arcia 0-7 lifetime versus Severino. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate tonight, it's Emil Jimenez. Your first base umpire, Gabe Morales. Second base will be manned by Doug Eddings, and down the third base line, it's Ryan Adderton. Your Atlanta Braves come in 54-46, 8 above 500, 1 under 500 on the road at 24-25. The New York Metropolitans are 53-48, 26-26 at home. The Atlanta Braves are minus 115 on the money line. The over-under is 7.5. We'd like to thank all the Country Club members for helping support the channel. Please become a Country Club member today. And if you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe to Braves Country Radio. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves Mets. Game 1 of a 4-game set. Tonight, tomorrow night, 7:10 first pitch. Saturday afternoon is a 4:10 tilt. It's Chris Sale Day, so we've got the conductor emoji kicking in the chat for all you Country Club members. Warm up those chop arms, Country Club members. If you're not a member today, what are you waiting on? In Braves Country, get your game face.
Get this bus moving. Stop. Come back. Too late.
Roll call! Yeah! Roll call!
You're in Braves Country.
Good evening, Braves Country. Country Club members, I see Charlie Pittman in the chat. I see David S. in the chat. Other Country Club members, Ken Scott. 1 month membership, Ken Scott. Congratulations. Gary the Real McCoy. Brian Andrews in the chat. Who else do we have here? On the Country Club side, AY is in the chat. Also in Braves Country, we have Maria, Kurt, Cameron, Depressed Mr. Matt, hello. We also have War Dog in the chat. And Travis, good to see you. Atlanta Braves are going to be wearing their road grays, classic road grays, with Atlanta across the chest in red, outlined in navy. Navy ball caps with the classic white A. New York Mets wearing their home alternate jerseys, white pants, black shirts, blue writing with orange trim, black ball caps with the NY in blue, outlined in orange, and we are just about set. Braves Country Baseball. Luis Severino throwing his final warm-ups, and he's coming set. Jared Kelnick steps into the box. And yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves Country. First pitch on the way is a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Misses outside wide. It's 1-0. Kelnick batting .248 with a .717 OPS. Righty-lefty matchup, the 1-0. Outside wide, 2-0. Kelnick is in a terrible slump right now, batting .220 over the last 30 games, 111 the last 7, 153 the last 15, the 2-0. Chases a fastball off the plate, swings and pops it back foul, 2-1. I think the main thing we have seen from Kelnick in this slump is he has expanded his strikes and he is chasing balls. Is the 2-1 pitch right there at the knees. P at the knees, 97 miles an hour, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Severino kicks and fires, swung on, pops it up into left field, drifting back, making the catch is McNeil, one away. See if that other screen is set up now for you. Braves nothing, Mets nothing. First pitch on the way to Austin Riley, who's just back from paternity leave. Takes the pitch outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 kicks and fires. 92 misses up top. 2-0. So a 2-1 count. I think we do have it now. I believe. Here we go. 2-0 count. Just like he had with Kelnick, but Kelnick worked his way into trouble. The 2-0 pitch. Swing! And that ball's lifted into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Austin Riley's booking around first, heading into second, and it's a one-out double. We are Atlanta Braves. Let's go Braves country. Good piece of hitting there. Fastball right down the pipe, and he shoved it right back. Split the defenders there in left and center. McNeil, not much of a chance of getting onto that one. So that'll bring Marcell Ozuna to the plate. Ozuna stands in with now a .306 average. The first pitch to the Big Zoo, 95-mile-an-hour fastball, misses inside. 1-0. Your home plate umpire tonight is Emil Jimenez. We've not seen much of him behind the plate, though he has been in a lot of our series. The 1-0. 95 at the knees. Inner cut. Sinker. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Braves nothing. Mets nothing. The 1-1. Austin at second. Severino brings it in the dirt. That goes to the backstop. That rolls all the way to the backstop. And Austin Riley scoots on up to third. That ball was nowhere near the zone. Alvarez tried to backhand it. It went all the way to the wall. So a runner at third, the 2-1 pitch, outside wide ball 3-1. We've talked about Severino, the good season he's had. They get an opportunity to score early. They need to take it. The 3-1 pitch, down and away, ball 4. So the Big Zoo. Big Zoo goes out there and gets himself a base. Big Bear. Runners on the corners. 1 out. Matt Olson needs to come through in the clutch. Talked quite a bit about Matt Olson's struggles. He stands in, batting .223 on the year, .690 OPS, but more importantly, is the first pitch on the way is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Matt Olson hitting .111 in his last 7 games, and that is because 2 of his 3 hits came in the last game against the Reds. Last 15 games batting .123, .142 the last 30. The 1-0 check swing, chase one inside and down. It's 1-1. You know they're trying to get a double play ball with Olson at the plate and Ozuna at first. Braves nothing, Mets nothing. Mets trail the Braves just a game and a half out in the top seat of the wild card in the standings. After a quick delay, we are back at it. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 97. Right down the pipe, 1-2. You got a 1-2 count. Travis d'Arnaud stands on deck. Olson's got to find a way to get that run from third home. A pop-up, anything. Pop fly, not a pop-up, excuse me. The 1-2. Swing, that ball's chopped down the first base line. We'll do it again. Runners on the corners, 1 out. The 1-2 to Olson. Severino, 18th pitch of the inning, in the dirt. Good block this time by Alvarez. 2-2. Third time he's thrown the ball to that side of the plate in the dirt. You'd love to see one kick away, and the Braves just gifted a run. If you're just joining us, Austin Riley, a one-out double, and then a pass ball is the 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Matt Olson foul-tipped it, but Alvarez held on to it, and once again, Olson is dead meat, 2 away. They continue to put him high in the lineup. He continues to not produce. They'll continue to tell you at postgame that's baseball. Travis d'Arnaud comes to the plate. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Golden opportunity. Now he's got to come through with the base hit unless we get a pass ball, a wild pitch, or some kind of a broken bat bleeder. Anything, a single, anything to get that run home. Eddie Rosario does stand on deck. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. The first pitch inside, 97 miles an hour, misses. It's 1-0. Mets defense is back into the left. The 1-0, right there at the knees on the outer cut. Good cutter, 1-1. 1-1 count. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Chase that sweeper down below the knees. 1-2. So the Braves are down to their last strike here in the inning. Prosperous inning that started off. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. This is the 23rd pitch of Severino, so that is the good news. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, just got a piece of that. 1-2. Went with the sweeper again. His sweeper doesn't really sweep. It's really more of almost a splitter type. Goes straight down. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Travis takes one about eye high out of the zone and off the plate. We'll be back in a flash. Riley and Ozuna get on, but once again, we can't get them in.
Why do boomers get up an hour early just to sit there at the table and drink coffee?
Because we don't want to listen to your bull crap. It takes the cup of coffee to listen to your stuff.
All right, tell your joke.
Why are you singing so funny?
Why?
Because...
Steak sauce or no steak sauce? All right, okay, first of all, if you got a steak that's good enough, then you're not going to need no steak sauce. But if you're eating a steak that's like charcoal, then you're going to end up with some kind of steak. If you don't shut up, I'm talking. That girl looked like a growed-up Oompa Loompa.
I prefer Minion, but okay.
She had the body type of a Minion. Unibody.
Yeah, like everybody asked me, like, so what's your type? And I'm like, I've been all over the board at this point.
He really has. I'm impressed with like 1 or 2 of them that he brings home, and then the next one I'm like, what happened? That one that you brought on that had like 4 chins.
Lower the expectations.
But you can't get no lower. You can't get no lower.
Armchair.
Let me tell you something. If the U.S. government decides to stick a tracking device up your ass, you say thank you. And God bless America.
Harry Wright eats baseball, breathes baseball, thinks baseball, dreams baseball, and incorporates baseball in his prayers. Cincinnati Enquirer.
Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Braves Country Radio. Pull up a chair. Your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Chris Sale comes to the mound. The conductor. Been a while since we've seen him on the bump. He pitched the final game of the first half of the season. Then we went to the All-Star break, came back, and he was scheduled to pitch a couple of times the last 2 days and was pushed back because of rain. Francisco Lindor leads us off. The first pitch of Lindor, 93-mile-an-hour fastball right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Sale comes set. Kicks and fires. Swing. Chops it over towards short. Arcia's got it. Fires it over to first. And it's a 4-3 putout. One away. Jonathan, I see the question. We are here every night for Braves Country Radio. Sundays we put the chat up. So, yes, we are here for the series. All 26 weeks of the regular season and then every game in the postseason. Iglesias stands in. First pitch on the way. Right there, top of the zone, first strike. It's 0-1. Iglesias batting .381 on the year. 97 at bats. The 0-1. Swung on, chopped foul off the plate. 0-2. Iglesias came into the Mets lineup on May 31st. So still a pretty good sample size. Couple of months of work here for Iglesias. The 0-2. Swing, and just got a piece of that. We'll do it again. So an 0-2 count. Lefty, righty. Pitch on the way. Outside, high and wide, 1-2. Iglesias batting .381, 3 home runs, 17 RBI. He's been around for quite a while, just having a career year this year. 34-year-old. The 1-2 swung on, foul back. We'll do it again. Jose Iglesias, you may remember him most in his stint with Boston and Detroit, early part of the last decade. The 1-2 from Sale, swung on, pops it up, high in the sky, foul territory. Travis gives chase, makes the catch over there by the first base dugout. 2 away. He also played a little bit with Baltimore, Colorado. Even had a year with a half year with the Angels. But has always been known as a consistent glove, and he'll give you professional at-bats. A career of .281 hitter, so not too shabby overall, 709 OPS. That'll bring J.D. Martinez, speaking of a guy who's had a great career, Major League Baseball. Comes in batting .262 on the year, the 36-year-old out of Miami, Florida. First pitch on the way, drifts a slider right there for a strike. It's 0-1. J.D. Martinez was drafted by the Astros back in 2009. And he did play with the Astros until 2014 when he went to Detroit, the 0-1. Swing and a miss over the top, 0-2. He was traded from the Tigers to Arizona at the end of the 17 season and then signed the big-time deal. I want to say it was a $125 million deal to go to the Red Sox, and him and Sale helped win the World Series for the Red Sox. The 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. The 1-2 count. Ever since he left there, he's had a hard time finding a home. When he's always one of the last guys to sign, but he always puts up solid numbers. I really cannot understand why J.D. Martinez takes so long to get signed. The 1-2. Four-seam fastball, high and out of the zone, 2-2. Never signs for a high amount since that big contract. I want to say the Mets got him for around 12, 14, somewhere in that area for 1 year. The 2-2. Slider swung on, pops it up. Reach for it. High in the sky. And that'll be out number 3 as Matt Olson makes the catch over by the Mets first base dugout. 3 up, 3 down. The conductor is rolling along. We'll be back in a flash.
Every time I see a homeless person, they got a dog. Y'all investing in the wrong roof.
What's the worst UK accent?
Probably Birmingham.
Okay. Everyone says that. Or Scouse.
No, I like a Scouse accent, but Birmingham.
Where are you from?
Newcastle.
Everyone's favourite.
Up the twos.
I got lost in the game. I mean, the ballpark, the people, the color, the sounds, smells. And it's a passion. It's a very, very big part of my life. Sometimes I like to be 11 years old. I like being part of something that's bigger than me. It's good for your soul to invest in something you can't control.
You're a romantic. You have a lyrical soul. You can love under the best and worst conditions.
What a big at bat by Lieutenant Dan. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Jorge Soler, and it is swung on and roasted into left field. Ramalama ding dong, zip boom bam, over the bullpen wall. It's 3-2, your Atlanta Braves. That ball was crushed like an ant. Absolute jackpot, baby. 3-2, Atlanta leads the game, and the place is going bananas. I hope y'all are dancing in your living room or wherever you're at. Atlanta, back-to-back solo jacks. We've got a 1-run lead. Look out. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Your Atlanta Braves will grab the bats and see if they can get across here on the scoreboard. They threatened in the first inning. If you're just joining us, we had runners at first and third with 1 out. And then a strikeout by Olson and a pop-up by Darnode. First pitch on the way to Eddie Rosario is out of the zone for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup, the 1-0. Swung on, sliced back foul. 1-1. So 1-1. Rosario steps out of the box for a second, gets back in, batting just 184. We've got way too many guys below the Mendoza line on this roster. The 1-1, swung on, pops it up. Will that stay in play? Bending over towards the third base dugout. It will not. 1-2. Rosario, Alvarez, and Laureano are all under the Mendoza line. And then on the bench, you've got Duvall, Merrifield, and Williams all below it. The 1-2, caught, looking, strike 3. Eddie Rosario frozen with a bender on the outer edge, 1 away. So 1 down to Nacho Alvarez, who's 1 for 9 to start his career here on the major league level. Takes the first pitch outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Alvarez, hitting over 300 on the AAA level, was batting .293 in the minors this season. The 1-0. Outside, wide, ball 2, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Kicks and fire, swung on, chopped over towards short. Charging is Lindor. He'll get Nacho Alvarez with ease. 6-3 put out, 2 away. Two down. Ramon Laureano will come to the plate. He's been on and off mainly because of injuries. Let's try to see if we can get him regular work on the plate. The first pitch on the way. 86-mile-an-hour slider at the belt. It's 0-1. He was just starting to get hot before he got injured a few weeks ago. The 0-1. Down below the knees, outside wide, 1-1. The 1-1 count. Braves nothing, Mets nothing. Top of the second, first game of a 4-game set. The 1-1 in the dirt. Good take by Laureano. 2-1. Same two teams back at it tomorrow night, 7:10 first pitch. Then 4:10 on Saturday. The 2-1 pitch, swung on, hit hard on the hole, in the hole. That's going to go just between the 5-6 hole, bounces off of the glove of the diving infield of the New York Mets. Lindor got to it, but I don't think he would have had a chance rare to get Laureano busting down the line. It'll be an infield single. He did get to it, prevent it going from the outfield, but I think no matter what they did on that play, that was going to be a single. I mean, it was rolled right between the 5-6. First pitch on the way from Severino to Arcia is right there for a strike. It's 0-1, and on the play, how about this? Laureano steals second without a throw. 0-1 outside wide, 1-1. Love to see the heads-up base running by Laureano. Alvarez is not known for his defense behind the home plate. The 1-1 pitch swung on, and that ball's going to get dribbled into right field, and that's going to be a run. Your Atlanta Braves. Get them on, get them over, get them in, and it's 1-0 here in New York. That's how you play baseball. How about that? Fisted it over the chasing Iglesias. And Arcia stopped to turn around to talk to Goodwin. The ball got away. Goodwin, the first base coach, had to alert him to turn around, but I don't think he was going anywhere anyways. First pitch to Jared Kelenic as the lineup flips over. Misses up high. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Swung on. Pops it up. Fouls it back. 1-1. 1-1 count. Laureano at first. Kelenic. Standing on deck is Austin Riley. The 1-1. Right there for a strike. Good sweeper. Just kind of bent him at the knees. 1-2. The 1-2. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Kelenic. Very confused by that play. That was either a foul tip or it wasn't. They called Kelenic out there at the plate. That's going to end the inning. We'll clean that up when we get back, but it was a bad job by home plate umpire ML Jimenez. We'll be back in a flash.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's Almost Good Beer. Remember, Ed's Almost Good Beer was brewed in God's country when God wasn't looking.
What's your experience been like here at the baseball camp?
Pretty fun. I like playing first base and third base. And, I just came here to hit dingers and have a good time.
Y'all, my homie just pulled up and told me everybody business and had the nerve to ask me what I've been up to.
Your husband's money is not yours just because you pop some kids out.
You're absolutely right. Want to know why it's mine? It's not because of the kids. I have 2 of them, by the way. It's not because of the kids. Kids. You want to know why? Don't be spreading these lies. Your husband's money is not yours. Who the told you that? The air he breathes is mine, okay? I'm around people who have either been in me or have popped out of me 24/7. That is mine. All mine. You sound like you mad because you don't get no money. Does he have you on an allowance? Mine don't.
Best rapper alive.
Tupac.
There's a drive by Canigliaro, and it is out of here. What a bomb he is. Canigliaro hits a home run, his first time at bat at Fenway Park. And he gets a tremendous hand. What a thrill that must be for a 19-year-old boy. Look at that smile on his face.
Tony Canigliaro had tremendous charisma, a young guy, good-looking, personable. The fans loved him. The kids loved him. Everybody loved him.
Tony C. led the American League in homers in 1965 and was the second youngest player to reach 100 home runs. He and Yaz gave a Boston team that hadn't contended since the early 50s hope for the future. And the Sox had brought in new manager Dick Williams for the 1967 season to instill a fresh attitude.
The only thing I can tell you right now, I'll guarantee you we'll have a hustling ball club.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Pete Alonso is well inside, almost gets him in the thigh. Lefty-righty matchup. Alonso stands in with 20 home runs. 1-0. Down and in. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. If you're just joining us, Sale did not strike anybody out in the first inning. I believe the over-under was 7.5, but I didn't check it today. Saw it last night. The 2-0 swung on. That ball's lifted into center field right at Kid Kelnick. He'll make the catch. 1 down. One away here in the bottom of the second inning. Vientos will be the batter. First pitch on the way. Slider right there just below the belt for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on that one. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Vientos 13 home runs, 35 RBI. The pitch in the dirt, 1-2. Standing on deck is McNeil. If anybody gets on, Alvarez. Braves lead at 1-0, bottom of the second inning. The 1-2 from Sale. 95 misses out high and wide. 2-2. Sale with a pretty economical first inning. He's now at 20 pitches. 1 out here into the second. The 2-2 from Sale. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the fastball on the outer edge. 1 away. All aboard. Whoa, whoa. Chicka, 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 chicka. Whoa, whoa. First strikeout of the night for the conductor. First pitch on the way to McNeil. Swung on and chopped foul. Lefty-lefty matchup. It's 0-1. Lefty-lefty matchup, but McNeil is 2 for 3 lifetime versus Sale, in case you missed the pregame show. The 0-1. Sale turns and kicks. Slider down below the knees, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. Right there at the knees, 1-2. Two down here in the bottom of the second inning. McNeil batting .228 with 9 home runs. The 1-2. Swung on, sliced back, foul and out of play. We'll do it again. The 1-2. Sale comes set. Kicks and fires. Chopped over towards third, and that's going to be an infield single for McNeil. I'd be willing to bet as the throw, it goes over to first, over to second, and McNeil got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Old Muskrat got caught trying to turn an infield single into a double. Well, we can't all be good at baseball. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Some people exercise before breakfast. I've watched a show I didn't like because the remote fell on the floor.
You can't go cheap on the TP. So I'm going to throw the honorable mention of diapers. You can go to a lesser name brand and there's a median there, store brand diapers, garbage. You will have more blowouts and cleanups than you will know what to do with.
Are you willing
It
to
is
go,
not worth saving the dollar.
Are you willing to go to cloth diapers to save money?
No.
Does anybody still do that? What a terrible idea that
Yes.
is.
Yes.
Do they?
There are people. Yes.
That's such
and
a
they need
terrible
hug me
idea.
jackets. They have lost their mind.
I
There's
mean-
no way I would process that thing through my washing
Why would I
machine
want-
and then ever wear anything out of it again?
I mean, if someone drizzles on my shoes in the men's room, I'm throwing them out. I don't want a full-blown episode and go, well, we can reuse those. Don't throw them out. Who came up with that idea?
Armchair. Moving on, the holiday party. I put you two in charge of the dessert, and I specifically asked for an edible arrangement, like a fruit basket of sorts, not an arrangement of edibles. What went wrong here?
I delegated this to Brian, and I told him to get an edible arrangement.
Okay, that wasn't clear to me because Kate said the brownies were a big hit last year, so
Brian, Matt literally had 4 of them, and he was so relaxed that he fell asleep during our Secret Santa.
For the first time, to the shock of the baseball community, he paid each player a salary. The highest paid was Harry's brother George, the shortstop, who received a considerable sum of $1,400 a season, 7 times the average working man's wage.
Thank you for smashing that like. First pitch on the way to Austin Riley. He's 1 for 1 on today. He's outside, called for a wide strike. It's a swing and a miss. Got the bender on the inner cut. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Kicks and fires. Swing, and that ball's laced up the middle. That's going to get through to the base hit. And your Atlanta Braves got the leadoff runner on. Papa Riley, 2 for 2 after coming back. Drilled that one in between the 4-6 hole, just over Severino's shoulder into center field. That'll bring Marcell Ozuna up to the plate. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is off the plate wide. Called for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Outside wide, 1-1. I do wonder if they can see the same thing we can see on the field compared if it's just on the screen. But my God, if you're watching this at home, that pink sign that keeps flashing up there, that's got to be distracting as hell for Severino. The 1-1 down below the knees, 2-1. I would hope that's just on the screen But I don't think it is, because seeing as a couple of the signs in the outfield, they're flashing as well from further views. The 2-1 pitch, slice foul, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Riley, decent lead over there at first. Severino turns around and flips it over to first. Might have been just because the pitch clock was down to 2 seconds. One on. Nobody out. The pitch. Swung on, fisted back, foul. We'll do it again. Braves 1, Mets nothing. Top of the third inning. The 2-2. Down below the knees, four-seam fastball. Missed down and outside, ball 3-2. So a full count to Ozuna, who walked his first time up. Severino, by the way, 51 pitches, no outs here in the third. The payoff pitch, swung on, chopped over to third, and that's going to be a 5-4-3 rally-killing double play. Swung over the top of that one. He fed right into what Severino wanted to do. 95 sinker at the knees. He just swung over it. So base is clear now. Matt Olson comes to the plate. Severino throws 6 different pitches. He'll throw a four-seam, a sinker, and a sweeper. He also has the slider, change, and cutter. First pitch on the way is a sweeper outside wide. It's 1-0. You'll mainly see the four-seam, the sinker, and the sweeper. He'll throw those at about a 75% clip, all three combined. The 1-0. Fisted foul down the line. It's 1-1. The slider, change, and cutter come in pretty evenly at about 25% themselves between the three. The 1-1 fisted into left field. That'll get down for a base hit. Matt Olson. Not a hard hit ball, but it'll look like it in the scorecard. He's got 3 hits in the last 2 games, and maybe he'll start heating up. The ball's dying into the glove of the third baseman a week ago. No doubt about it. Matt Olson, he's hit some hard balls right into gloves. But he'll also tell you, and rightfully so, he just hasn't swung the bat well this year. Travis d'Arnaud will step to the dish. First pitch on the way, swung on, chopped foul down the third base line. It's 0-1. Travis d'Arnaud has been a historic Mets killer over his career. Remember, he was a New York Met many moons ago, right before he came to the Braves. The 0-1, swung on, fisted foul. 0-2. Travis d'Arnaud, over his career for the New York versus the New York Mets, not counting tonight, has a .318 average, 34 hits, 5 homers, 23 RBI, and 16 runs in just 30 games. The 0-2, down and away, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. That really is saying something for Travis when you consider he's a career .250 hitter. That's hitting well over 330 games against one team. The 1-2, down and away, 2-2. We'll hit the out-of-town scoreboard here in a second. Not a lot of games on this Thursday. We're the only game going right now. You do have a 9:38 clash of Oakland and the Angels. All the other games are in the books. The 2-2. Inside, ball 3-2. So a full count, which we'll get Matt Olson moving on the pitch. Your out-of-town scoreboard does look like this. Detroit 3-0 winners over Cleveland. San Diego 3-0 over Washington. Texas beat the White Sox 2-1. The payoff pitch swung on, chopped over to third. That's going to be an easy 5-3 putout to end the inning. Braves put a couple of guys on with a couple of hits, but can't do nothing with it. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
One day you're going to wake up and roll over next to somebody that's completely obsessed with you. It's probably going to be a dog, but it is what it is.
I have a question for the boys. How much does an oil change cost? Because they told me that I needed special oil because I drive a Volkswagen, so it was like $162. Is that normal? Can someone tell me? Because I'm just a girl.
How much does an oil change cost? I actually don't know, but I know who you can ask. You should ask the bear.
My therapist asked me how I've been handling everything, and I said, I've just been taking it one are you kidding me at a time. So.
Name, age, and where you from?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I'm Shelly. A lady never tells her age, but I will say I'm 39, but I don't look your typical 39, so I'm proud of that.
Shelly.
Yes.
You look 39. It's okay, though.
If Kamala Harris is running for president and can take claim for all of the accomplishments of the Biden administration over the last 4 years, but also can't fully be blamed for any missteps because she was vice president, does that in fact mean that she exists in the context of what came before, but is also unburdened by what has been?
Crowd, the only strikes he's thrown have been the first base. 1 ball, no strikes. Still hasn't thrown a strike. 6 pitches in a row. Crowd a little uneasy. Again, ball 3. 7 straight pitches without a strike from a young man who is considered a great control artist. Look at that. Nowhere near. 8 straight pitches without a strike. Nobody out. Runners at first and second. The crowd cheered. Who said he couldn't throw a strike?
Welcome back to Braves Country Radio. You're listening on radio and you want to see some funny stuff in the chat that I will not repeat because we're on radio. Go on over to Braves Country Radio on YouTube. There's some stuff that's getting me kind of laugh during the break. But anyways, back to the game. Chris Sale goes to work. First pitch on the way, 92 at the knees. On the outer cut, it's 0-1. Lefty-righty matchup, Francisco Alvarez, the hind catcher. Batting .278, 4 home runs, 24 RBI, excuse me. The 0-1 misses down, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Sale kicks and fires, swung on, chopped over to first. Olson's got it. Took a funny hop, but he stuck with it. Steps on the pillow, 1 away. One away. That'll bring Taylor to the plate. Stewart is on deck. Mets do have a hit, but it was quickly doubled up when McNeil on an infield single tried to stretch it into 2. I don't know if I've ever seen that, a guy trying to stretch an infield single to 2. First pitch on the way to Taylor's outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. I think he thought he would catch Riley napping and throwing a lazy throw over to first, but it got to Olson plenty of time. He gunned it to second. And it was a bang-bang play. McNeil, honestly, just with egg on his face. 1-0 at the knees for a strike, 1-1. Taylor batting .233, the 1-1 pitch. 93 outside wide, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Sale comes set. Kicks and fires. Swing! Fouls it straight back. 94 on the outer edge. 2-2. Braves 1, Mets nothing. Bottom of the third inning. Chris Sale, 34th of the night. The 2-2. Down and in, slider misses. Ball 33-2. So Taylor's worked the count full. Mentioned this before, but he's just kind of a pesky hitter, and you never look and see his numbers and are all that blown away by him, but he always seems to put together a good at bat. Even back to his days at Milwaukee, I noticed that. The payoff pitch swung on, chopped foul down the line. We'll do it again. He has 6 home runs on the year. I'd be willing to bet 7 of those against Atlanta. It just seems like he always gets into one when we play him. You had a full count. We're just 6 days away from the trade deadline. Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. The MLB trade deadline. The payoff pitch swung on, chopped foul again. This time a four-seam fastball. Really making Sale work for this at bat. He's really shortened up his approach, just trying to make contact, and he's banging pitches away. The payoff pitch, inside, ball 4. I think it just would have been easier to throw a fastball right on his hip and send him down to first when he fouled off that first pitch. So 1 on, 1 out. Quick powwow out there on the mound, and really that is just to give Sale some breather. First pitch on the way to Stewart. DJ Stewart takes a hack at the first one, fouls it straight back. It's 0-1. Don't let DJ Stewart's 181 batting average fool you. He's got pretty good power. This is his first at bat versus Sale. 5 home runs on the year. Plays a platoon role here on this team. Sale is going to flip it over to first to keep Taylor close by. Standing on deck is Lindor. You'd love a double play here. 1 on, 1 out. The 0-1 from Sale. Comes set, lifts his red glove and deals. Slider off the plate, 1-1. Chris Sale now about to throw his 40th pitch of the night. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 97 right in his kitchen, 1-2. The 1-2 count. Bottom of the third, 1-0 your score. Here in Queens, New York. Game 1 of a 4-game set. The 1-2. 96 up top. Caught looking, strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry. 2 away. Whoa, whoa. Chicka, 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 chicka. Whoa, whoa. Good pitch right there by Sale. I mean, he dotted that top corner 96 miles an hour. That was a perfect pitch. I don't know if there's a left-hander alive that can get to that pitch. First one on the way to Lindor is swung on and hit high and deep, and that's gone. Francisco Lindor takes 1 yard on Chris Sale. Sale and Darno looking to just lay one in there, and he took advantage of it. 96 about belt high, and the Mets have taken a 2-1 lead. Lindor crossing the plate. All the Mets fans a couple of months ago wanted to trade Lindor. I haven't heard some of these guys talking about DFAing him with his ridiculous contract that he's owed. And I feel like they go through that every year. He's always a slow starter. And every year he starts heating up about midway through the season. And this year's no different. The lefty-righty matchup now, Iglesias on an 0-1 count after being hit with not engaging with the pitcher in time. Takes the first pitch outside wide for a ball. It's 1-1. The 1-0. Swung on, chopped foul. 1-2. 1-2 count. Braves trail just 2-1 here in the third. Sale comes set. Kicks and fires. Swing, fouls it back. We'll do it again. Chris Sale, 45 pitches now. The 1-2 pitch. Outside wide. 2-2. The 2-2 from Sale. Swing and a miss, strike three, and that'll end the inning. But not before Sale coughs up a 2-run shot. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
So the best safe word you can use is meatloaf, because it means I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Road Stadium and why?
Oh, Atlanta.
Why Atlanta?
Because I just love the baseball atmosphere. It's just fun to play there.
This division, what's the harder environment to play in as a visiting player, Atlanta or Philly? Really?
Yeah, the baseball atmosphere there in Atlanta is crazy every single day. It could be a Tuesday morning game.
Okay.
And it's still like you're playing Saturday night.
All right.
So.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? Hey, don't run from the Lord. Where are you going?
Hold on!
This is my favorite.
Hold on! Her sister was a witch, right? And what was her sister? A princess! The Wicked Witch of the East, bro!
I'm gonna stab him.
You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong? Am I wrong?
It's my favorite
She
movie.
wore a crown and she came down in a bubble, dog!
I'm not fighting with you.
Grow up, bro! Grow up!
If you don't think Mel Ott was one of the greatest players of all time, then you're Ott of your mind. His 42 home runs and 151 RBIs in 1929 were both records for players who were 20 years old or younger at the start of the season. Despite being only 5 feet, 9 inches, and 170 pounds, he led the National League in home runs 6 times. From 1928 to 1945, he led the New York Giants in home runs. This 18-season dominance is a record. He was the youngest player to hit 100 home runs and the first National Leaguer to hit 500 homers. He was the first National League player to have 8 consecutive 100 RBI seasons. Runners didn't dare run on him after his 26 assists in his first season as a full-time player. He hit better than 310 times in his major league career. At the time of his retirement, he had 200 more home runs than the next highest National League player. One sports writer summed up his life perfectly. His death was the worst that could have happened to baseball, but his playing career had been the best.
We head to the top of the fourth inning. Eddie Rosario grabbed the stick. First pitch on the way is 86, missed up high, but called for a high strike. Bad call by Jimenez. It's 0-1. All in all, he's called a pretty good game so far. The 0-1 swung on, fisted back foul, 0-2. And just where you know Eddie Rosario cannot handle that high heat. And now he's getting a call put on him by the umpire to make him think he's got to swing at it. And that's why he swung at the 0-1 high. They go up high again, swing and a miss, strike three. Eddie Rosario, just an absolute disaster at the plate. One away. He's not who he was a few years ago, and I can't imagine he's going to be on this team come Tuesday. He's only in the lineup because it's righty-lefty, but at some point that just doesn't matter. First pitch on the way. to Alvarez is chopped over to third. He's an easy 5-3 put out, 2 down. Nacho Alvarez. Nacho going to be around very long. He keeps doing that. Alvarez is now, what is he, 1 for 11? That'll bring Laureano to the plate. Laureano takes the first pitch outside wide. It's 1-0. Got very bad news today. A couple hours ago, the Miami Marlins claimed Forrest Wall off of waivers. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 97 up top, 1-1. One of my favorite players that the Braves have had. You want him on that team, if nothing else, for base running late in the game. The 1-1 chopped in front of the mound. Should be an easy play for Severino. He'll flip it over to first, and the Braves go quietly in the fourth. Braves trail 2-1. We will head to the bottom of the fourth here in New York.
Hey, to all the people out there who be eating salt and vinegar chips on purpose, are y'all okay?
What are you looking at, you dirty old skank? What are you looking at, Popeye? What are you looking at, you piece of road trash? What are you looking at? Jeez, I can smell you from over here. What are you looking at me for? I'm not a bottle of Jim Beam.
What's your emergency?
Yeah, somebody's just broke into my house.
Okay, we'll get a unit over shortly.
Okay, please hurry.
Real quick, can you verify your race for us?
I'm black. No, I'm sorry, I'm white. I'm full white.
Okay, can you answer a few questions just to confirm?
Okay.
Okay, how do you feel about Black Lives Matter?
All lives matter.
Nice. Did OJ do it?
Yeah, he did it.
Okay, who's the best boxer in the United States?
Jake Paul.
King of R&B.
Justin Bieber.
Okay, last question. Say ask.
X. Oh,
Listen to me, sweetie. You're a good fella. I love being married to you. I do. Now, that being said, RVNO.
Okay, I see.
You see what?
You obviously like being a slave to the clock. You feel compelled to follow a certain schedule, whereas I am independent-minded.
Don't quote from the video.
1986, Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Detroit Tiger Lou Whitaker is voted to start at second base. The game is in Minneapolis. Whitaker flies out, gets there, realizes he literally forgot his uniform. Doesn't have anything. I think Burt Blyleven loaned him a helmet. Damasco Garcia of the Blue Jays loaned him some gloves. And basically they went to a concession stand in the Metrodome and bought a jersey. They sold visiting teams jerseys. They bought a Tiger jersey, and then someone scribbled on number 1 on the back in black marker. And Lou Whitaker wore that in the All-Star game as his Tigers uniform. It's one of the greatest things ever.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Chris Sale goes back to work. First pitch on the way, 94 right there on the cut. 4-seam fastball, it's 0-1. Chris Sale, 3 strikeouts so far in 3 innings. He's given up the 1-2-run home run. That's the difference in the game. J.D. Martinez fouled out his first time up. Takes the 0-1 outside, 1-1. 1-1 count. Sale comes set, kicks and fires. 95 right there at the knees, 1-2. Braves have 5 hits, Mets 2, but the home run is the difference. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with that slider down below the knees, 1 away. One down. That'll bring Pete Alonso to the plate. I'm just telling you right now, from the lackluster play that you get in the outfield and the just vacant at bats, I would rather have Forrest Wall on this roster right now than Eddie Rosario. First pitch to Alonso is a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing and a miss over the top 0-2. Because the idea would be that you're going to make a trade by Tuesday, get a starter in there, and Wall would just be there for pinch running and defensive replacement. The 0-2 from Sale. 95 up top, just misses. It's where he's called a couple of high strikes. Now it's 1-2. Pete Alonso, 20 home runs, 53 RBI. The 1-2. Swing, fist it back, foul. Came in with the heat. About the same height, but a little more inside than what he brought to Lindor. He just got too much of the plate. The 1-2. Down and in and got him on the foot. So he'll head down to first, gifted what'll be a hit by pitch. Sure, he loves to see that because he looked lost on that at bat. Got him on the outer foot, no doubt about it. Got him just below the ankle. If y'all missed it earlier today, Dylan Cease threw a no-hitter for the Padres. Just the second no-hitter in Padres history. Remember a few years ago, Joe Musgrove threw the first one. That was earlier on today. He did it all by himself. It wasn't one of those bullpen type of no-hitters. First pitch to Vientos is a swing and a miss strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swung on, chops it over to third. Riley to Nacho to Olsen all day long. And we got a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. So the conductor will head back to the dugout. We'll grab the bats. Be back in a flash. All aboard! Whoa, whoa!
3 o'clock in the morning.
I've been playing poker with some blokes.
Playing poker with some blokes? You can pack your bags and go.
So can you, sweetheart? This ain't our house anymore.
But there's a tier level of like college and adult life, and I'm not going back to the college level tier. You can't go, this isn't walking back into my fridge. Not ever happening again.
Well, no,
but ice at that.
But if I'm somewhere, okay, Busch Light I can deal with. Natty Light, no. Natty Light, I don't even feel like it's, I don't know. Natty Ice, definitely not. That's just a headache in a can. But when I say cheap beer, like stuff that's not, the upper echelon, I'm talking about your domestics. I can live on a domestic. I don't have to have the hippest, $15 for a 6-pack beer. I'm fine with.
Oh, definitely. I mean, heck, let's face it. After the first two, they all taste the same after that.
Well, yeah, and if you're going to drink all day, I'm not trying to mess around with the double IPAs and porters and stuff like that. Dude, you're about to go to a dark place.
Armchair.
I just got out of Target, and this guy said, hey, that's not Nirvana on your shirt. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I know Nirvana, man. Bop's one of my favorite songs, okay?
The Red Stockings finished their first season with a record of 65 wins and not a single loss. They also managed to turn a profit for their investors, $1.39. The city that had once prided itself on the stockyards had become the baseball capital of the country, and the Red Stockings spread the gospel from New York to San Francisco, traveling on the just completed Transcontinental Railroad.
Braves Country Radio. Please like and subscribe today. YouTube.com/@BravesCountry. Welcome back. First pitch from Severino is a slider to Orlando Arcia. They said it was a strike at the knees, though Alvarez couldn't hold on to it. It's 0-1. The 0-1 swung on, lifted into left field, lazy fly ball. McNeil will get it. One away. One down. Coming to the plate is Austin Riley. I'm sorry, not Austin Riley. Jared Kelenic. First pitch to Kid Kelenic is 97 inside. Got him underneath the hands. It's 1-0. Kelenic, 0 for 2 on the night. Fly out and a strikeout, the 1-0. Down below the knees, 2-0. It seems like Kid Kelenic is trying to do too much and just get, as a leadoff hitter, just get on and cause problems. See if one of the other big guys can get you in. The 2-0. Swing, chase that one off the plate. 2-1. The problem is they just don't have a lot of options of who else to lead off right now with Ozzie on the shelf, Harris on the shelf. The 2-1 pitch. Outside wide, 3-1. Three-one count. Severino kicks and fires. Swing! That ball's blasted high, but not deep at all. It'll die into the glove of DJ Stewart well before the warning track. Lazy fly ball. 2 away. Got underneath that one. Got a decent swing on that one, but when you're scuffling, that's the types of swings you expect. You see Kelenic cussing himself heading back to the dugout, but at least he swung at a pitch that he should swing. That was a decent at bat. First pitch on the way to Riley is a 4-seam fastball outside wide. It's 0-1. The 0-1, Severino, 77th pitch of the night. Blew it right by him on the outer edge. 0-2. Austin Riley, 2 for 2 on the night. A double to left, a single to center. Be a good time for a home run. The 0-2. Outside wide, 1-2. Severino's gotten that pitch count down with a couple of quick innings by the Braves. Started off really high. Now he's just at 79 pitches. 4-seam fastball misses high, 2-2. Standing on deck is Ozuna. The 2-2 to Riley. They set up outside wide. Did they say he went around? I guess they said that he did. Riley was caught by surprise by that call, and the ball caroms away. Alvarez slides, makes the grab, fires it to first, and it's a strike him out, throw him out to end the inning. If Riley's on top of it out the gate, I still don't think he's going to beat that throw. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
For nothing, it's 9:30 in the morning, you're peeling potatoes? I know what time it is. What are you doing? You got your uncles coming in later. You want to eat later on today? This generation. I'm done. What are you going to do? Call DoorDash when you have company? DoorDash? Send me some potatoes?
Okay, answer this question 100% honest.
Okay.
Okay? If I died, would you get remarried?
No, probably not.
What, you don't like being married?
I mean, yeah, obviously I do.
So then you would?
Yeah, I guess. Yes, I'd get remarried.
Would you guys stay in this house?
Yeah, it's a new house. Why not?
Would she drive my car?
Yeah, it's a new car.
Would you sleep in our bed?
Yes.
Would she wear my jewelry?
No, she probably have her own jewelry.
Would you replace all the photos of me in the house with her?
Probably. It's probably the right thing to do.
Are you going to take her golfing?
Yeah, golfing's always fun.
Is she going to use my golf clubs?
No, she's left-handed.
Armchair.
I'm going to go, and I guess to hone it in, I was going to say chemicals, but cleaning supplies.
Okay, yeah, I like it.
You can go cheap on them. You can buy store brand. Doesn't clean to your satisfaction. Just add a little more to it.
What you and I have told the American public today is there's certain things that you don't want to go cheap on, but if it comes down to your health or your cleanliness, you're fine with.
Armchair.
Every magnate in the country is indebted to this man, Harry Wright, for the establishment of baseball as a business, and every patron for furnishing him with a systematic recreation. Every player is indebted to him for inaugurating an occupation by which he gains a livelihood, and the country at large for adding one more industry to furnish employment: sporting life.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch from Sale to McNeil is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swing. Chops it foul down the first base line. 1-1. Jeff McNeil, infield single, then got caught trying to turn an infield single into a double earlier. The 1-1 slice foul and out of play, 1-2. Braves trail 2-1, bottom of the fifth inning. The pitch. Down and away, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. McNeil, lefty-lefty matchup, the pitch. Swung on, chopped it up the mound. It's going to be a tough play by Arcia, but he's got it. Fires it over to first, and it's a 5-3 putout. One away. One down, and Francisco Alvarez, who grounded out to first his first time up, comes to the plate. Taylor is standing on deck. Alvarez stands in. First pitch on the way is 77. Down and away for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Sale kicks and fires. Outside wide, 1-1. So 1-1 count. Sale comes set, lets her fly. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Nice changeup. Pulled the string on that one. Alvarez batting .277 with 4 home runs, 24 RBI. The 1-2. Swung on and grounded over to third. Riley's got it. Fires it over to first. Had to charge the play. Makes it with these 2 down. Two away. Looking at the top of the inning, Atlanta Braves will have the middle of the lineup due up: Ozuna, Olsen, and Darnode. First pitch from Sale, swung on and slapped back foul by Taylor. It's 0-1. Taylor's first time up had a 10-pitch at bat that turned into a walk. Lefty-righty matchup. Tonight's center fielder stands in. The pitch. Swing. Fouls that back. It's 0-2. Really shortens up his swing against Sale, just trying to make contact. The 0-2 from Sale. The pitch. Changeup down and away. 1-2. Francisco Lindor's 407-foot home run to center field, just getting over the wall. A 2-run shot is the difference in this game. Braves trail 2-1. The 1-2. Swung on, hit hard on the ground, but right to Orlando. He's got it. Flips it to Matty, and that'll end the inning. 6-3 on the putout. We'll be back in a flash. Braves grab the bats, trailing by just 1.
What was your unsupervised childhood activity that definitely should have killed you?
I used to fart in the pool and try to go underwater and sniff it.
Cause he's the armchair quarterback, the all-American man.
My number 3 that I can't go cheap on, cereal.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple of kinds that you can do, but if you're talking about, like, don't ever try to do the generic Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like soggy before you even pour the milk on it.
It's before you even open the bag. It's soggy. You're like, how'd that happen? It came with its own liquid.
Armchair.
I love you, Rihanna.
I don't know. You love me. You don't love nobody. You love your own self. Come on, love you. And sorry. You don't tell nobody you're sorry.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Baseball has fallen. Yes, the national game has become degraded. At certain match games, large amounts of money changed hands among the spectatorate. A noted New York club is said to have sold the results of a match. Barked chins and broken fingers may be easily amended, but a disfigured reputation may never be entirely repaired. Once more, abandon the bat, boys, if you cannot keep the game pure.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Marcell Ozuna leads us off. First pitch, swing, fouls it straight back. 93-mile-an-hour cutter. Just over the knees, outer edge of the plate, it's on 1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires, high and inside, 1-1. After struggling with his command early on, Severino's really started to cruise here the last couple innings. Braves have been stuck on 5 hits for a few innings now. The 1-1, high and out of the zone, 2-1. Severino has 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. The 2-1 to Marcell. Swing. Chops it foul. 2-2. This is about where he starts trying to get someone to roll over on his sinker. We've seen it a few times. Some for double plays, some just 5-3 putouts. But he tries to get you those right-handed batters to roll over. Hit it to third. The 2-2. Sweeper down and away. 3-2. That one was one that he was trying to get them to chase out of the zone for a strikeout. So far, every time he's gone to a full count, he's thrown a sinker and gotten someone to swing over it, bounce it. The 3-2 pitch, swung on and sliced it foul down the right field line. Do it again. Got the update from Harris. They said he was sore after working out yesterday. So they're just snail pacing him along. I mean, he's going to be sore. He hasn't played baseball all summer long. The payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4. So Mr. Marcell Ozuna almost got hit by that pitch. He'll head on down to first. Tying run at first. Go ahead run will step to the plate. In the 4. Matt Olson. Man, is he good. Come on, Matty. Mets 2, Braves 1. Righty-lefty matchup, the pitch. Down below the knees, 1-0. The 1-0. Comes set. Kicks and fires. Swing, 97 miles an hour. Blew it right by him. 1-1. On deck is Travis d'Arnaud. Nobody out. In the hole, Eddie Rosario. The 1-1 to Olson. Inside, 2-1. He's been in such a slump. You don't want to tell Olson this, but you almost want to tell him, I don't want to see you swing the damn bat unless there's 2 strikes. Because he's whiffing at pitches that normally he would launch. The 2-1 pitch, swing, pops it up. That'll bend back out of play, 2-2. Looking at his previous years, he's really not had this bad of a year before. The 2-2 swung on, hit hard on the ground. That's going to dribble through for a base hit. Ozuna takes a wide turn, and he's going to head to third in the big zoo. Be on one corner, the ice house on the other, and we've got runners on the corners, nobody out. And Little D coming to the plate. He's been such a topic tonight in the chat, it's time for him to step up. Little D will come up, try to put some motion in the ocean. They're going to go out there and talk to Severino. He is at 92 pitches. So they get the bullpen working. They got to buy him time. On this date in 1965, unbeknownst to him, Mets skipper Casey Stengel, who compiled a manager record of 1,905 wins with the Dodgers, Braves, Yankees, and Mets, managed his final ball game, 5-1 loss to Philly at Shea Stadium. After leaving a party at midnight, the 75-year-old loses his balance, fracturing his left hip, forcing him into retirement. That was in 1965. First pitch on the way to d'Arnaud is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Runners at the corners. Nobody out. You at least got to get the run home. The 1-0 swung on, fouled back, 1-1. Mets are in double play depth. It's not ideal, but even if you have to hit into a double play to get Olson home, he's got it. There's a huge hole, by the way, on the right side of the infield. Huge hole. They're playing him to pull, double play depth, and holding the runner at first. The 1-1 swing. That ball broken bat. That's going to get through for a base hit. That's going to tie the game. A broken bat by Little D. Little motion in the ocean. Man, that one piece of the bat slivered. It's kind of dangerous. Didn't really get that close to either one of the infielders. That was pretty dangerous. The ball just shattered. The Braves are tied at 2-2. Broken bat single. We'll take it. That's it for Severino. They're going to go to the pen. We're going to go to the break. Braves have it 2-2. And 2 on, nobody out.
Braves, wait a minute. Do you think you can get me a tape of the show?
What on earth for?
Well, how often do you get to hear your son on the radio?
I'm on the radio every day!
Cause he's the armchair quarterback. He's full of beer and he's full of snacks.
It could be like a government conspiracy, but it also could be something like, Bigfoot. What's your number one?
We never went to the moon. I don't believe it. I think it's a hoax.
All right.
They filmed it in a studio. Why didn't we ever go back?
All right, the crazies is coming out in us today. I'll see that and I'll raise you Area 51. I think there's little Martians and everything running around out there, and I think we're hiding something. We're hiding something out there. There's too many accounts of too many things that go wrong. And don't keep on telling me that it was a balloon that went by. Get me? The balloons aren't that big, okay? They don't go by that often. It's a little strange we haven't seen one in the last 30 years since technology's gotten better. There's been too many times where they've interviewed guys who were out there and they say, when they ask them, can you say what you've seen? And he goes, no, I'm sworn to secrecy. Well, why are you sworn to secrecy if nothing happened out there? Something went down.
Armchair.
I would put a committee together, get some coaches, get some players, and let's try to work this thing out. We can't ask these politicians nothing. Those people are awful people. They're all crooks.
On February 2nd, 1876, at Manhattan's Grand Central Hotel, a group of club owners, eager to tighten their control of the game, restore its respectability, and most of all to ensure greater profits, started a new association. They called it the National League of Professional Baseball Clubs.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way. Eddie Rosario from Budo. High and out of the zone for a ball. It's 1-0. Jose Budo, 2.59 ERA, 26% K rate. Looked like he had a problem with his pitch comm. They haven't had as many problems this year as they did last year. Last year, I think they got him off Wish. I think they've upgraded to Temu this year. I mean, we got to get some Amazon pitch comms for 2025. The 1-0. Up high and wide, 2-0. You can tell that every team, it's not like I'm some master baseball scout, knows to pitch Eddie Rosario high. Ever since I've been mentioning it for about a week or so, that's all you've seen is pitches up high. The 2-0, swing and a miss over the top, 2-1. They'll change it up, go down once, maybe twice in at bat, but they're trying to get him to get himself out. 2 on, nobody out. The 2-1 swung at that one. That one was way down. 2-2. What most teams have been doing, they'll get that second strike and then they go and pop it up top to get him to chase. What you hope is they miss the spot and Eddie's able to connect. The 2-2 to Rosario. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Budo strikes out Eddie to start his night. 1 away. Nacho Alvarez, now the batter, Laureano, stands on deck. We've got first and second. 1 out. This Budo clown keeps messing with his pitch comm. I mean, it either works or it doesn't, son. Quit playing with it. That'll bring Nacho Alvarez to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Mets are now back into a traditional double play depth. First pitch, outside wide, 95 miles an hour, 1-0. The 1-0. Comes set, lets her rip, down and away, 2-0. It's a 2-0 count. Nacho Alvarez now batting just .91 or .091, I should say. The 2-0 right there at the knees, 2-1. Nothing else. Just don't stay out of the double play, Nacho. Give Laureano, who's already got a base hit, a chance to possibly get somebody in. The 2-1. Budo comes set, fires, down below the knees, ball 3-1. You'd love a walk here. Laureano's on deck. In the hole, if we get that far, it's Arcia, and then you would go back to the top of the order. Braves and Mets now tied at 2. The 3-1 to Nacho. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 93-mile-an-hour sinker blew it right by him. Full count. He doesn't have a very good contact rate, so you can't really put anything on with the slower runners standing at first and second. So they'll be stationary. The payoff pitch, swung on, lifted down the right field line, but foul. We'll do it again. Braves 2, Mets 2, top 6. 2 on. Deuces wild here in the Big Apple. The payoff pitch to Nacho. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew it right by him. 2 away. See this a lot from guys that come up from the farm. I mean, he just doesn't look like... He looks like we might have brought him up just a little too early. I think ideally they would have liked to have put Will Merrifield in the lineup tonight. But there wasn't an update, but it appears that he's still not ready to roll. First pitch on the way to Laureano is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Budo comes set, lets her go. Outside wide, ball 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Runners at first and second. 2 outs. The pitch to Laureano. Swing, fouls it back 95 miles an hour, 2-1. The 2-1. Budo's 16th pitch of the night. Swing, chops it foul. Slider hung up a bit, but Laureano swung over it, banged it in between home and third, heading towards the third base dugout of the Atlanta Braves. Deuces wild here in the top of the 6th. Laureano takes his time out, steps back in. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 your score. Mets fans are standing, cheering them on. The pitch. Swing. That ball's lifted high. Doesn't appear to be deep enough. Going back on the track, making the catch at the wall is Taylor, and that'll end the inning. Laureano gave it a ride, just not far enough. We'll be back in a flash. Tie game here in the Big Apple.
Someone calls you fat. Just ignore them. You're bigger than that.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Your favorite shot?
Favorite shot? I don't know. I had it last night. Lots of them. I think it's called the Picklehead, where it's a shot of Jameson with a little bit of pickle juice chaser, and it's the most wonderful and terrible thing I've ever had in my drinking life. Because once you take the shot, and then you take the pickle juice, there's no burn. There's absolutely no burn, right? And then you're like, well, shoot, yeah, it's just Kool-Aid at that point. It can lead to very bad things. Trust me.
Armchair.
It is ridiculous to pay ball players $2,000 a year, especially when the $800 boys often do just as well.
William A. Hulbert, a ruthless coal magnate who owned the Chicago White Stockings, became the National League's president. He immediately took steps to revive the reputation of the professional game. Players were forbidden to drink on the field or off. No beer was to be served on the grounds, and no games were to be played on Sunday. Power was to be invested in the owners, not the players.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Be a good time to have a shutdown inning here from Chris Sale. He's just at 71 pitches on the night. Braves 2, Mets 2, bottom of the 6th inning. Sale comes set, facing the number 9 hitter, DJ Stewart. First pitch on the way, slider up top for a strike. It's 0-1. Stewart struck out swinging his first time up. The 0-1. Outside wide, slider misses, 1-1. On the Mets bench, available to pinch hit, you'll have Bader, Gamble, and remember, Brandon Nimmo did not start, so they can implement him anywhere. The 1-1. Swing, pops it up, high in the sky, but it's going to fade into the crowd. First base side, 1-2. All three are listed as outfielders with Nimmo, Bader, and Gamble. The 1-2 from Sale. High and out of the zone. 2-2. 96 miles an hour. It's got to come in with like your life flashing before your eyes. 96 from Sale from the left side of the plate. The 2-2. 95. Caught. Looking strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry. 1 away. He's got something to say to home plate umpire Jimenez, but it did look like it grabbed the zone. They were set up outside wide, but the ball hit the pitch track right there in the bottom corner. And a good frame by Darnode got the call. First pitch on the way to Lindor is a swing and a miss, strike over the top. It's 0-1. Francisco Lindor, the only damage the Mets have done, a 2-run shot on a fastball that was intercut to him. He turned on a dime to take the 2-1 lead. The 0-1. Swing! That ball's blasted down the left field line. Cannot keep it straight. 0-2. How about we quit laying them into Lindor? That's the second one belt high that he's turned on. That intercut belt high, that is his wheelhouse on the right side. The 0-2. Swung on and just got a piece of that to smack it foul. Right field side. 0-2. Chris Sale, 79 pitches in. 1 down, bottom of the 6th, the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the high heat. 2 away. Nice pitch. Chris Sale now at 6 strikeouts on the night. So he started off pretty slow, but it's really dialed up the Ks of the last few innings. Two down. First pitch on the way, swung on and banged over to third. Line drive. Austin Riley makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll take that all night long. Back in a flash here on Braves Country.
So apparently it's rude to tap someone on the forehead and say skip intro when they start talking to you.
All-American man.
My typical favorite shot, honestly, is just old Jack D. Well, Ice Cold Jack D. But if I'm going to pick like more of like a shooter type of thing, it is the most dangerous one, and I no longer drink it. But, man, a good Jaeger bomb.
I was about to say, it's probably got some Jägermeister.
But I'm going to tell you right now, do a Jaeger bomb nowadays, I'm probably going to end up in divorce court. So, 'cause I black out and not only just time travel, I travel. I wake up in other cities. So,
if I remember correctly, you used to like slap your face like Curly, and then you would just do this shuffle step, and then it was on after that.
Yes.
We went into plan M for McGee.
Yes.
All right, execute plan M. Todd, you get the flanks. If anybody's taller than McGee, get him out now.
Oh, yes.
At least that's how I remember it.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember it, and that's kind of the point.
Checkmate.
Armchair.
To further solidify their control, the owners added a reserve clause to the contracts of the 5 best men on every team. It required that each play only for his current employer and reserved his services for the following year. At first, few complained. To be reserved was to be sure of a job for the coming season. Those who did complain that the reserve clause smacked of slavery, fired, then blacklisted. For the first time in the history of the game, players would serve the interests of the owners. For the next 100 years, the professional game would be dominated by those who owned the field and supplied the ball.
Top of the 7th we go. We got a tie ball game. First pitch on the way to Orlando Arcia. That's going to be an easy one hopper into the glove of Vientos at third. He'll flip it over to first, and Orlando Arcia continues to be an easy out, one away. I mean, we don't even get back from break, and that clown is send him right back to the dugout. At this point, I mean, I don't see how you don't make a trade to get a shortstop that can hit his weight. Jared Kelenic comes to the plate, first pitch, outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Swing! And that ball's lifted high and deep. If it's fair, it's gone, but it is foul. Just right of the foul pole in right field. Maybe 5 to 10 feet to the right of it. That almost gave us the lead. It crossed over probably 4 to 5 feet in front of that pole. The 1-1. Outside wide 2-1. You know, we tend to forget, but Jared Kelenic was drafted by the New York Mets. And he was a first-round selection by the Mets. The 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. He was drafted back in 2019 out of high school, and he was traded to Seattle in the Edwin Diaz trade, the 2-2, down and away 3-2. So not only has he been struggling, you know he really wants to have a good series here in New York. Full count to Kelenic. Riley stands on deck. The payoff pitch. Swung on and lifted into left field, not very deep. Coming over, making the easy catch is McNeil, 2 down. Two away, and Austin Riley comes to the plate. Riley, 2 for 3 on the night. I'd like to see him put a charge into one, take the lead here. First pitch. Man, did he chase that one off the edge. He had the same thing in mind. It's 0-1. Wind is really whipping from left to right, and that might have been what pushed that ball foul of Kelenic's. The 0-1 from Budo. Up high. 1-1. Austin Riley, back from paternity leave. He missed the Cincinnati Reds series. Now hitting in the 2-hole, the 1-1 pitch. Slapped that one foul. Chased another one off the plate, 1-2. If I'm Budo, I don't throw him another pitch in the zone. I get him to chase. A 1-2 count. Braves 2, Mets 2. Top of the 7th inning, the pitch. Swing! That ball's lifted, but not very deep. Got underneath that one. Easy catch for the center fielder, Taylor, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. It is time to get up and stretch, Braves country. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning.
All right, I can't see you. Let me hear you. All right. We are to the ball game.
Chris Sale goes back to work. First pitch on the way. Changeup just below the knees. JD Martinez, it's 1-0. Middle of the order due up. 3, 4, and 5 hitters. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Changeup over the top. 1-1. JD Martinez, 0 for 2 on the night. Fouled out in the first, struck out in the fourth. The 1-1 from Chris. Kicks and fires. Fastball right down the pipe. Froze him 1-2. One-two count. Alonso stands on deck. Vientos in the hole. Tie ball game here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The 1-2. Caught looking, strike 3. 96 top paint. 1 away. Good pitch by Mr. Sale. All aboard. Whoa, whoa. Seventh strikeout of the night by Sale. First pitch on the way to Alonso is 88-mile-an-hour changeup. Down and away for a ball, 1-0. Alonso flew out to center in the second. Then he was hit by a pitch on a 1-2 count. The 1-0. Swung on, chopped over towards third. Foul, 1-1. The 1-1 count. In theory, if Sale could get a very quick next 2 outs, you could see him possibly going out for the 8th, but it's probably unlikely. Braves have a well-rested bullpen after the rainouts here recently. Braves 2, Mets 2. 1 down, bottom 7. The 1-1 to Alonso. They set up inside. Slider misses way outside wide. 2-1. We missed the news earlier. Dylan Cease of the Padres threw a no-hitter today, complete game, 114 pitches. The 1-1. Slider right there. 2-1. There was a close play in the 5th inning. Second baseman juggled the ball and the center fielder was running in, covering, and he caught it. That could have fallen for a base hit because it would not have been an error. It was a difficult play for the second baseman. It's a pretty nifty play. I'm sure you'll see all over the highlights later on. The 2-2 from Sale. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Pulled the string on that one. 2 away. Nice pitch. 2 down. He's really hitting his groove, and he's pitched a great game. It was the one pitch that he left way too much of the plate on with Lindor that he hit into the seats. Outside of that, he's been marvelous. First pitch to Vientos is a strike on the outer cut. It's 0-1. The 0-1 right there at the knees. Slider, 0-2. 0-2 count. Time is called. Braves have Pierce Johnson warming up in the bullpen. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chris Sale, 93 pitches in. We'll figure it out by the next half inning if he's going back out there. Is he staying in pitcher mode or is he getting pats on the back? We'll be back in a flash.
Do you ever just look at someone and think, you're the Monday of people?
So take us to 1955.
Where were you when they won it all?
I was in the last period of the day in math class with Mr. Rabin. And it surprised me when I moved south that we weren't doing this. But of course, coming from the New York area, there was always at least one team in the World Series. So each fall, they played the World Series on the radio over the PA system. Remember, this is the 1950s.
So they played it during the entire broadcast?
Yes. And
Okay.
teachers had the right, to turn it on and off, maybe teach a little math and then go. But I distinctly remember being in there and, grabbing the side of the desk and just praying, and all of us feeling that way. And then when we won, of course, and I guess it must have been during math class, my best memory, that the game was won by the Dodgers. And we just burst out. And I still remember Mr. Rabin looking at us and saying, okay, no homework tonight for you Dodger fans, but don't you ever mention this again. He loved the Yankees.
They were playing the Yankees.
Yes.
Johnny Podres will go down in infamy.
I remember hearing a report one night that, of course, the celebration broke out all over the streets of Brooklyn, and there was a pregnant woman who delivered a baby in the middle of all this, and he was named Johnny Podres, whatever. So there may be somebody still wandering around the streets of New York with that name. Armchair.
Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Braves Country Radio, pull up a chair. Your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Marcell Ozuna is right down the pipe from Budo. It's 0-1. Budo out there for his third inning of work. 30th pitch of the night. Kicks and fires. High and out of the zone, 1-1. Marcell Ozuna, Matt Olson, and Travis d'Arnaud due up. The 1-1 to the Big Zoo. Outside wide, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Ozuna 0 for 1, but he does have 2 walks, and he scored a run. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Chase that slider. Well out of the zone, down and away, 2-2. Doesn't look like he's getting high fives and pats on the back, so he may be going back out there for another inning. We'll see. He's at 93 pitches, talking about Chris Sale. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ozuna chased one well off the plate for the first out of the inning here in the 8th. Matt Olson coming to the plate. He's 2 for 3. It's 4 hits in the last 2 games. All singles, but could be a sign of things to come. Righty-lefty matchup. They set up outside wide. Pitch on the way. Well off the plate. Slider missing. It's 1-0. If you missed it the last couple of days, Clayton Kershaw came off the IL, made his debut today for the Dodgers, went about 4 innings. And Robbie Ray pitched a gem last night, the 1-0, right there at the knees, 1-1. He went 5 innings, no hits against the Dodgers. Struck out his either 8 or 9. He walked a bunch of guys in the first inning. That's how the Dodgers got the 1 run. The 1-1's fouled back 1-2. And then after that, I tuned in at the tail end of that first inning. After that, he was blowing guys away. For those who don't remember Robbie Ray, he had Tommy John surgery 2 seasons ago. And he's a strikeout pitcher, deadly strikeout pitcher. The Giants are just now getting him off the IL. More known for Seattle than anywhere else. The 1-2. Way outside wide, 2-2. So 2-2 to Matt. d'Arnaud on deck, 1 down. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the changeup off the edge. 2 away. That was a pretty good pitch by Budo. That ball fell off the edge of the changeup just at the last second. I think it was close enough to where if he takes it, he might have got rung up anyways. 2 down. Travis d'Arnaud, normally a Mets killer. He is 1 for 3 today with an RBI. First pitch on the way. Swing. Bangs it foul down the third base line. It's 0-1. Sitting here in the top of the 8th. Righty. The 0-1. Swung on and dribbled up the middle. Lindor's got it. He'll fire it over to first. Get him with ease. 6-3 put out. 1-2-3 inning. The Braves. Mets. 2-2. Bottom of the 8th.
So I used to date this guy. And he... Oh, I don't think I'm ready to talk about that yet.
How to act when you see an attractive person. Quickly look away. Now slowly look back. Slight smile. Look down. Slowly look up at them. Start to wave high, but then change your mind. Now laugh to yourself. Now dead serious. Now blow them a kiss. Blow them another kiss. Now blow them a French kiss. Flare your nostrils. Now flick your tongue like a lizard. Now squint your eyes and mouth the words, "Call me."
I love when people are like, "What are you doing after work?" And I'm like, what am I doing after work? I have to make supper. I have to go to bed at 7:30. What do you mean? What am I doing after work? Are we meant to be doing things after?
After a spectacular early season in 1877, the Louisville Grays of the new National League mysteriously lost 7 games in a row. Players bobbled the ball, seemed to slow between bases, swung suspiciously wide. The Grays lost the pennant. Afterwards, some were seen wearing fancy clothes and diamond stick pins. An investigation revealed that gamblers had bought off 4 players, including one of the National League's greatest pitchers, the popular Jim Devlin. When confronted with the evidence, Devlin confessed.
I was introduced to a man named McLeod, who said when I wanted to make a little money to let him know was to use the word sash in telegraphing, and he would know what was meant. We made a contract to throw a game in Indianapolis, received $100 from McLeod for it, and gave it to my wife.
All aboard! Welcome back. Chris Sale is going back out there for an 8th inning, so we'll see what happens. 93 pitches in. Sale, remember, he's had 10, 11 days off. He's thrown 65 strikes tonight of those 93 pitches. Jeff McNeil, who had an infield single against him the first time up, leads us off. It'll be McNeil, Alvarez, and Taylor. First pitch on the way, swung on, chopped it towards the mound. Olson's got it, flips it to Sale, covering the bag. That's an easy 1 pitch, 1 out. That's the way you like it. 1 away. We'll take 2 more of those and get him out of this inning. We might send him back out for inning number 9. And Sale, are you kidding me? Well, he's cruising. Snicker's coming out there taking him out. And Sale, I think, is giving the team a pep talk. Basically, get your head out of your ass because we've got reliever coming in, pitched 1 pitch. 1 pitch. We'll be back in a flash.
I don't know who put me on the list to work for a living, but it's rude.
I called you like 5 times and you ain't answered the phone because my been on Do Not Disturb all day. Well, people can't get in contact with you if you always got your on Do Not Disturb. I know, ain't it just wonderful? That's the point.
Here are some facts about Ireland that you may not know. Fact number 1. There are more Irish people abroad than there are in Ireland. There's over 80 million people worldwide that claim Irish heritage, and there's only about 6 million of us at home. The President of Ireland actually has very little power. The Taoiseach holds all the power as head of government. Ireland's patron Saint Patrick, the great man, was actually born in Wales, not Ireland. But like everyone else, he claims to be Irish. The submarine was actually invented in Ireland. The holiday Halloween, which is very heavily celebrated all over the world, actually originates in Ireland, derived from a Celtic celebration called Samhain. So you're welcome. And finally, for all the Americans out there, that White House where your president sits in, yeah, that was designed by an Irishman too.
Let me sum it up. Twitter's stupid, and Instagram is Twitter for people who can't read.
The magnitude of the conspiracy stunned the baseball world. The Louisville Grays suspended the accused players, who claimed they had only done it because their owners had failed to pay them their wages. Devlin was brought before National League President William Hulbert.
Devlin was in tears. Hulbert was in tears. I saw Hulbert take a $50 bill and press it into the palm of the prostrate player. And then I heard him say, "That's what I think of you personally. Damn you, Devlin, you are dishonest. You have sold a game, and I can't trust you. Now go and let me never see your face again, for your act will not be condoned so long as I live. Albert Goodwill Spaulding."
Joe Jimenez comes in. First pitch, down and away, in the dirt. Chris Sale, 9 is done, 94 pitches. Threw one pitch in that 8th inning, a one pitch out, and they went and got him. 1-0, swing and a miss over the top, 1-1. The 1-1 count. Joe Jimenez stands in with a 2.52 ERA. The 1-1 pitch right there at the knees for a strike. Alvarez held up but called 1-2. He's got a 2.45 ERA here in July. The 1-2 just below the knees. Slider misses. 2-2. On deck is Taylor, which you could probably end up getting Brandon Nimmo, but they may hold him up. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down. They may want to hold up Brandon Nimmo for later in the game. We are pretty late here in the 8th, but you could use him for a ton of double switches later. Two down. Taylor takes the first pitch at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. I would think if Taylor got on, you've got DJ Stewart on deck. You'd probably keep Stewart there. The 0-1 swung on, pops it up high in the sky. Shallow left field, but RC is there. He'll make the catch. He stares someone down in the crowd. I don't know what's going on there. We'll head to break. Top of the 9th, Braves 2, Mets 2.
Maybe I'm the problem. Nah, that doesn't even sound right. Stay woke in these streets.
Major League Baseball pitcher Brady Singer's mom reading the letter he sent her just before Christmas.
I love you, Mom and Dad. Dear Mom and Dad, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done to help me reach my dreams. From Woodley Field to Kaufman's. There's absolutely no way I could have done all this by myself. Both of you constantly took off of work and spent every dime you made just to put a smile on my face. My smile and appreciation for both of you has never stopped, and it never will. I will always remember traveling around Florida for baseball, trying to cheaply eat and save money, but I never could because you both always wanted me to have the best stuff to help me pursue my dreams. The money you both spent on traveling, your gear, hotel, food, and all those Gatorades I drank is much more than I could ever give you, but there was something I want to give to you. I am paying off the loan from the bank. Also, I paid off all your debt as well. What? Now, instead of trying to save money every weekend to replace the savings account you drained on traveling to play baseball, you can spend it on yourselves. Because you deserve the very best, I want you both to know how much I appreciate you and how none of this would be possible without you. Your giving hearts helped to shape my tiny dream into a reality. I love you both more than you could ever imagine and will never forget what you both have done. Now let's go celebrate. Merry Christmas. Love always, Brady.
Despite their pleas for forgiveness, Hulbert banned all 4 players from baseball forever. For 5 years, Jim Devlin haunted the corridors outside meetings of the National League club owners, hoping somehow to be reinstated. Desperate, he wrote to Harry Wright, still the most respected man in the game. Harry Wright did nothing.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Edwin Diaz is going to come on here in the 9th, trying to preserve the 0-0 or the 2-2 tie, I should say. He's always been a tough customer. He's had a rough bounce back year after the injury, but he's still Edwin Diaz. First pitch on the way. Data Rosario is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. He stands in the 4.08 ERA his last 30 games and a 4.08 ERA altogether. The 1-0 fouled back 1-1. Want to know what he's been doing here recently? In the month of July is the 1-1 way high outside wide. 2-1. He's got a 1.59 ERA here in the month of July. It's pretty good. The 2-1 way outside high wide 3-1. 3-1 to Eddie. I mean, if you're talking to Eddie right now, and I know they don't do this anymore, they need to give him the hold sign here on the 3-1 to Diaz. Just get on base. Could really get him unnerved with the runner on base. The 3-1. Down in and almost got him. Ball 4. We'll take that all day long. So before the month of July, he had a 0.0 ERA in 3 appearances in June. He did go to the IL for a stint. And then before that, he had an 8.68 ERA in May. Eddie's going to go to the bench, be replaced by the pinch runner, Whit Merrifield. So first appearance by Whit. First pitch on the way from Nacho. Runner goes. Here comes the throw. He is safe. Stolen base, number 1 by Whit Merrifield. He did not waste any time. Took off like a bat out of hell. Pretty good jump. Alvarez isn't known for the strongest of arm. But that was honestly a pretty good throw. The 0-1 inside. 1-1. Nacho Alvarez had showed Bunny, pulled back, but it was a strike. So 1-1 count. Pitch on the way to Alvarez. It swung on and swatted back foul 1-2. The 1-2. Diaz kicks and fires, swing and a miss, strike 3. Nacho Alvarez pretty much taken to school on that at bat, 1 away. That'll bring Ramon Laureano. You wonder if Merrifield might try to steal third. Laureano stands in. He's 1 for 3 on the night. The first pitch. Runner does go, and he's out. Merrifield's out by about a mile, looks like. He's standing at third to see if they want to challenge that. From the blind eye, he appeared to be out. Now, they may challenge it just because why the hell not? You only get the one challenge. But it doesn't look like they're going to. I mean, realistically, you might as well have, but the throw did beat him. You slow it down. That's close. His hand is hitting. I don't think it's enough to overturn it. What you would have liked to have Merrifield have done is do a swim move. He would have grabbed that bag because the third baseman had the glove down in the front of the bag. And if he does that swim move, he's going to be safe. The way he hit that bag, it looks like they are going to challenge it, by the way. The way they hit that bag is he's coming in. I mean, it's almost tie goes to the runner type thing. And because of the call on the field, I think they're going to give it to him. So they are challenging it. While they do that, we'll turn back time real quick. On this date in 1972 at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, the Reds' second baseman Joe Morgan singles Nate Colbert of the Padres in the bottom of the 10th inning to give the National League a 4-3 walk-off All-Star Game victory over the junior circuit. The National League at that point has now won all 7 of the extra inning affairs of the Midsummer Classic. They're really taking their time. I mean, I think it's that close. The throw beat them. For those of y'all listening on radio, the throw beat them by a mile. But the third baseman stood there and waited. They are going to uphold the call. But it was worth the challenge because you're in the 9th inning. Anything past that. Once again, if Merrifield does the swim move, he's going to be safe. But he is out. There's no doubt about it. So Laureano now stands in the first pitch. Swing and a miss over the top. It's 0-1. Or 0-2, excuse me. The 0-2. Kicks and fires. Outside wide 1-2. If Laureano can keep it going, Lando Arcia would come up. If not, Laureano, if we get to extra innings, would be your ghost runner. The 1-2. Caught, looking strike 3. Didn't get the bat off his shoulders, and that'll end the inning. Braves put one on, but get gunned down at third. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Well, I did it. I woke up today. So, I think that's enough activity.
Here are some facts about Ireland that you may not know. Fact number 1. 10 million pints of Guinness are produced in Dublin every single day. Most of them are drank the same day. And we have lots and lots of different accents from Northern Ireland all the way down to Kerry. Ireland has 2 official languages. The English language we're speaking now, which is most commonly used, but also we have Gaeilge, which is our Irish native tongue, and not enough people speak it. I wish I knew more.
Hello?
Hi, is Mark there?
Yeah?
It's me, Shannon. We met at Jack's party.
Yeah! How can I forget? Wow, how you doing? I haven't heard from you in,
9 months.
Armchair.
So Pete Rose, the leadoff batter for the Philadelphia Phillies, introduced to the crowd here today. And Pete Rose, a man who has been at bat more times than any player in the history of the major leagues.
That if he keeps breathing, he will break Ty Cobb's record.
And, of course, the big question this year is whether or not he'll be able to play every ball game. He wants to. The manager says he wants to rest him. He's missed only 80 games in his 20-year career. And Seaver's first pitch, ball 1. Seaver with 264 wins, 156 losses. One of a few pitchers who has won over 100 games more than he has lost.
Armchair.
Devlin got a job as a policeman in 1880. Died of consumption just 3 years later. His early death, said a Louisville newspaper, was an instructive example of the fruits of crookedness. The National League had survived its first scandal.
Arizona Diamondbacks have completed a trade. They got A.J. Buck. Minor trade for the... Looks like Adam Duvall is going to come out and play left field now. So we use two guys. If Merrifield's healthy with that throwing hand, and maybe that's why he didn't do the swim move, but if he's healthy with that throwing hand, he could have stayed into play left. First pitch on the way from Rossell Iglesias. Eyeglasses comes onto the dish, and it's a swing and a miss strike over the top. It's 0-1. DJ Stewart 0 for 2 strikeouts. Of course, that was against Sale. The 0-1 swung on, chopped foul. 0-2. Braves 2, Mets 2. Bottom of the ninth. The 0-2 from Iglesias. Swing, slices it back. We'll do it again. Same two teams at it tomorrow. The 0-2. Swung on and sliced back foul, 98 miles an hour. We'll do it again. Got to be careful with this guy. He can't put a charge into the ball. He's hit a couple off the Braves last couple of seasons. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the eyeglasses up top. One away. One down. First pitch on the way to Lindor is just off the plate wide for a strike. It's 0-1. See the question by Mark, why are they... Is the 0-1. Swing, fouls it straight back. 0-2. Why they're using Iglesias here. It's mainly because they're trying to get to extra innings. And remember, not too long ago, he went out there for a 2-inning stretch, so they may have that planned again. The 0-2. Up high, misses 1-2. I wouldn't think they would because they've got a well-rested bullpen, so why blow your closer on the first game of a 4-game series against a division rival where he may not come back until Sunday at that point? The 1-2. Swung on, sliced back foul. We'll do it again. But I also think it's because they're at the top of the lineup here, and they wanted him to face the top of the lineup. Now, they've already used is the 1-2 from Iglesias. High and out of the zone. 2-2. They've already used Jimenez. But if this does go to extra innings, you're going to have a couple of big right-handed bats due up. The 2-2 inside, almost gets him, spins Lindor around, 3-2. So a 3-2 count. The payoff pitch. Swung on, chopped over towards first, just foul. Man, that would have been trouble if that was fair. Ron's asking, so they use Merrifield just for his base stealing abilities. Now, he's Whit Merrifield at one point was an all-star infielder, outfielder. He's dealing with an injury on his throwing hand, the payoff pitch. Swung on, fouled back. We'll do it again. He injured his throwing hand when he first got to Atlanta on Monday. And though he thinks he'll be able to be back at it either tomorrow or Saturday, he obviously can't do it today, so they didn't want to put him back out there for defense. The payoff pitch, swung on. Might have chased that one outside. We'll do it again. But that goes back to when they took Sale out, when they did, then you move everyone up in the bullpen one more slot. The 3-2 pitch, chopped foul just past the first base bag. We'll do it again. Lindor keeps seeing these pitches. from Iglesias, it can only advantage batter. The payoff pitch, swung on, hit on the ground, but right at Nacho. He'll flip it over to Olsen, 4-3 put out, 2 down. An 11-pitch at bat. That probably eliminates the idea that they would send him back out there for, which I would not like the idea of sending him back out there for yet another inning, because then if you send him out there for 2 innings, you're not going to have him available for tomorrow, and you're not going to have him available for Saturday. Best case scenario is that he would be able to pitch Sunday. First pitch on the way, down and away. Did he go around? Iglesias did. It's 0-1. You got to figure next inning is the 0-1. Right there on the edge, 0-2. If they were to get Iglesias here, they would start off with Martinez and Alonso, both right-handed power hitters. I would think is the 0-2. Slap foul out of play. Do it again. I would think you're going to go to a right-hander, and they've been known to put Pierce Johnson in to start the 10th inning because of his strikeout ability with that curveball. The 0-2. Swing, pops it back foul. Do it again. They had Pierce warming up a little earlier, but he sat back down. So an 0-2 count. The pitch on the way. Swung on, lifted. Will it stay in play? Giving Chase Riley. That's going to bend foul and out of play. Not a whole lot of foul territory down the first and second base side here in Citi Field, but that's probably out in most stadiums. Maybe Oakland. So an 0-2 count. Iglesias now at 21 pitches. The pitch from Eyeglasses, way outside wide, 1-2. Goes to the backstop. Missed with that slider. They do have the idea that you do have Daysbel Hernandez, also a right-hander, available in the bullpen. The 1-2. Caught, looking strike 3. 97 up top, dotted the I, and that'll end the inning. Eyeglasses comes in and does his job. We go to the top of the 10th. Ghost runner getting in place.
How did he treat you? Like, where is he going? In the garbage. Where does he belong? With me.
Did you know in Field of Dreams, the mysterious voice that speaks to Ray is listed in the closing credits as himself, and the actor behind the voice has never been revealed. A lot of names have been thrown around as the man behind the voice, like the star of the movie Kevin Costner, or the actor who plays Shoeless Joe Jackson, Ray Liotta. The author of the novel the movie is based on, W.P. Kinsella, has said that he was told the voice was Ed Harris, the famous actor and husband of Amy Madigan, the woman who plays Annie in the movie. But director Phil Alden Robinson has said that although he's heard a lot of names, none of them have ever been correct. Who was the man behind the voice that said the famous line, "If you build it, he will come"? The last shot in the movie where we see all the cars lined up trying to get to the field was all done practically. The production team worked with the town to get as many lights shut off as possible to get the required darkness. They also had about 2,000 cars participate in that traffic line. To be able to speak to all the extras at once, the director's instructions were actually broadcast through a local radio station, and one of those instructions was for the cars to flash their high beams on and off to make it seem like there was more movement than there actually was.
Funny story about me. If you're a jackass who parks halfway into the next parking spot because you don't want someone parking next to you, I have a tiny car. I'm gonna be the jackass that makes sure we both fit in the one spot.
Baseball has these absolutely unique sounds. The sounds of spring, of summer, drift out across the fields. You know, the sound of the ball against the bat is absolutely extraordinary. I don't know any American male that doesn't hear that in the springtime and get called back to some moment in the past or summer days in the past.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio. Braves are 7-3. The Mets are 5-8 in extra innings. Phil Matone is coming on for the Metropolitans here as we head to the top of the 10th inning. Orlando Arcia leads us off. The ghost runner will be Laureano. Matone, if that name sounds familiar, it should. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way. Drops a bunt. Good bunt by Arcia. Who knew he could do that? Wow. Drops the bunt. Perfectly placed bunt. And pushes Laureano over to third. One out. That took me by surprise. I thought he was going to stick that bat out there and pop it up or knock it foul. Phil Matone came over from Tampa Bay this year, but prior to that, he had been with the Astros in 2022 and 2023, along with the 21. The back end of it is the first pitch to Kelenic. Oh, we've got a runner. Oh my God. We've got a pickle. Laureano is caught in a pickle. Alvarez tosses it to third, and Lindor intercepted it, threw it to home. Alvarez got knocked on his keister by Laureano, and Laureano, who just kind of lowered his shoulder because he didn't want to get drilled, He knocked him over and then turned around and say, hey, I didn't mean to knock you over. And Alvarez is crying and whining. I mean, honest engine, it's just two guys running into each other. Alvarez, well, I can't say what Alvarez is acting like, but you can fill in your own words. He's just a punk. Laureano obviously didn't do that on purpose. If he did, he wouldn't have turned around and immediately apologized. Because nowadays, with the not running over the catcher, I mean, back in the day, that would have been, heck, that would have been a play going down the first base line. But anyways, 2 outs. It's a 1-0 count to Kelenic. Laureano obviously didn't intend that. First pitch on the way off the 1-0 is outside wide. Terrible call by home plate umpire Emil Jimenez, 1-1. But I don't know what they were doing there with that squeeze play. That was pretty stupid. The 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. You had a runner standing at third with 1 out, and they tried to run a squeeze play, and the pitch was outside wide. Kelenic couldn't make contact with it, and at that point, he was dead meat. The 1-2. High and out of the zone, 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Kelenic 0 for 4. 3 flyouts. I mean, that's all you needed. Why did you? I don't understand the squeeze play. That it really made no sense. The 2-2. Outside wide ball 3, 3-2. So a 3-2 count. The 3-2, swung on, chopped back to the mound, easy out. Braves 1-2-3 are out of the, actually 1-2 because the ghost runner's out. So we'll be back in a flash. The Braves spit the bit. We head to the bottom of the 10th.
Can someone please tell me at what age do men start scream sneezing?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. 1278. Wait, what happened? 1278. I ain't even ordered yet, big bro. 1278. Pull to the window. Well, let me get a double Western bacon cheese. Yes. A double Western bacon cheeseburger, extra barbecue sauce with 3 tenders, 2 ranch, and 2 barbecue sauces. Why'd you plan Trout Demetrius Jefferson? Well, damn, baby. How you know it's me? You only come to my drive-thru setting. You're at 2:55 p.m. And I can smell that cheap-ass Ross cologne. Hey, you good, baby. You need a raise. But, yeah, let me get that, chocolate shake. Yeah, let me get a chocolate shake. You know one of the chocolate shakes since you know everything? Yeah, let me add a chocolate shake. This window, stop playing with me. I just clocked in. And you lactose intolerant. 1278, pull up to this window. Hey, you good. You good, baby.
On the outside, with the tattoos and the piercings and wearing mostly black, I look like a badass. But on the inside, I'm having a panic attack in the Trader Joe's because there's too many people in one aisle.
Despite growing professionalism, the pure game survived in thousands of small towns all across the country. Sam Crawford, who would one day become one of the best outfielders in the game, first played on a traveling town team from Wahoo, Nebraska.
I remember when I made my first baseball trip, a bunch of us from around Wahoo made a trip overland in a wagon drawn by a team of horses. I think there were 11 or 12 of us. One of the boys was a cornet player, and when we'd come to a town, he'd whip out that cornet and sound off. People would all come out to see what was going on, and we'd announce that we were the Wahoo team and were ready for the ball game.
Welcome back. Pierce Johnson will come on, so we had that right. Got the Ghost Runner standing at second base. Be Iglesias, the second baseman, so he's got pretty good speed. JD Martinez, Alonso and Vientos due up. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way. Fastball right there at the knees. It's 0-1. So there's one thing to do if you're going to do a safety squeeze, which would mean he drops the bunt, and if he can go, he goes third to home. But that was a flat-out suicide squeeze. He was halfway down the line. So many things can break that up. The 0-1, down below the knees, 1-1. 1-1 count. Infield is back and to the left. Braves have out hit the Mets 7-2, but still tied at 2. The 1-1, did he go around? Looked like he did. He did. 1-2. They checked down the first base line. First base umpire Gabe Morales rings him up. The 1-2 count. This would be a big strikeout if you could get this here. The 1-2. PJ comes set. Lets her go. Looked like he went around, did he? He did. Strike 3. PJ dealing that curveball. 1 away. That'll bring Pete Alonso up. There's a part of you would think about walking Alonso, but honestly, his run does not count, and you get the righty-righty matchup with him and Vientos. If you play it forward, it looks like they are going to walk him. I get the idea of setting up the double play, but if you flash this forward, if Vientos, let's say they get the Vientos out, then you got to face McNeil, and he's a lefty, and he's a good slap hitter. And he is the definition of a guy that just gets up there just to put it into the outfield. But we got a long way to go before that. First pitch on the way. Curveball down and away to Vientos. 1-0. I would have liked to have seen them pitch to Alonso, but just pitch around to see if he might get himself out. The 1-0. Curveball off the edge, ball 2-2-0. Because now if you walk Vientos, then you're really in a pickle. So a 2-0 count. Winning runs at second. That's really the only one you're worried about. Time is called. Vientos using his one timeout. 2 on, 1 out. The 2-0 from PJ. Kicks and fires. Right up top for a strike curveball. 2-1. On deck is that left-handed bat McNeil. And if you can get the double play, it's a moot point. Braves 2, Mets 2, bottom of the 10th. The 2-1. Comes set. Lets her go. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Nice curveball. That's a nice bender. So a 2-2 count. Winning run stands at second. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. PJ gets another strikeout, 2 away. But now, once again, you got the left-handed slap hitter McNeil, and he is tailor-made for this kind of at-bat. Alvarez stands on deck. I almost want to walk him, load the bases to get to Alvarez, because he's still stewing about getting run over, and he might overswing. But here we go. 2 on, 2 out. First pitch on the way. Fastball misses wide and out of the zone. It's 1-0. Braves 2, Mets 2. Bottom 10. McNeil had an infield single earlier. Was thrown out at second, trying to stretch it out. The 1-0. Swung on. That ball's lifted high and deep into right field. Coming over and blowing the catch is Laureano. The Braves will lose 3-2. Laureano makes a terrible play on a deep fly ball that should have been out, number 3. He overruns it. You don't see that except in Little League. It's DFA time for that clown. Braves lose 3-2. Tough game. Tough game. Laureano, he spit the bit in the outfield. Snicker spit the bit on the decision to go for a suicide squeeze. I mean, that is unbelievable. I'm rewatching this. He overran that by a half foot. Anybody out there in the outfield, I'm sorry, but that's a very easy fly ball for a professional outfielder. You don't see that every day, and you darn sure don't see it. Jeez. They keep showing the replay of it, and he just overruns it. Unbelievably bad game. Bad ending. And another wasted Chris Sale start. Chris Sale, the star of the night, goes 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, 7 1/3 innings, 9 strikeouts. And the Braves lose a tough one. Terrible decision to send Laureano, who, and let's think about this too. How long has he been on that team? And to be able to send him on a suicide squeeze. And this is not a team that bunts that often. So for a suicide squeeze, you are banking on Kelnick to drop a bunt when he hasn't done that often. So anyways, Braves lose a tough one. A lot of L's to give out all around. Laureano's defensive play, Snicker's terrible decisions. And the Braves, 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The Mets, 3 runs. They say 3 hits, no errors, but realistically, that was a defensive gaffe by Laureano. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7:10 first pitch. That's one of the tougher ones of the year. Just an awful defensive Little League play by Ramon Laureano. Y'all have a great night, Braves Country.